believe we're already through a quarter of the general session. Oh my gosh, there's been so much valuable information already. Who's with me? Put your hands up, jump up and down. Let's get some energy rocking in here so we can be ready to accept this information from the next powerful speaker. Let me see you on Zoom. Yes, yes, yes. Put your hands up. Right on. Okay, guys, I got to tell you that these events would not be possible without the person that co-produces this incredible thing with me and also his wife. And I got to say that this is a big project, a lot bigger project than what people think. And on top of that, still running the masterminds without even worrying about actually getting to the actual, doing the actual event, which is just such an overwhelming project. And I can't even imagine doing it myself. On top of that, this individual is not only taking time outside of his already busy, crazy life, which he's already doing so well in USANA. In fact, he was the #1 top sponsor and enroller just recently in the company, him and Crystal, and it was just so awesome to see their momentum. They've continued to have so much growth. They always make it out to all these, incentive trips because of how well they do with growth in their organization. Just this last week, working with him, even the last few days, he's enrolling people literally every single day. I mean, we have people coming in. Oh, here's another person coming in with this pack, another person coming in with this pack. I'm like, oh my gosh. And we're like running around, still getting the event. And he's like running around with phones and he's doing like FaceTimes and he's introducing me to new people. And I'm like, whoa, where did you come from? It's so awesome to see his drive and his energy. And he helps so many people part of this community. We're so blessed. We're so honored to have him part of this thing. Jared has continued to grow and develop such a large business, and he's still just getting started. He's highly connected with Eric Worre. He is involved with all of their special masterminds for a long, long time. And we're just very, very fortunate to have him now so engaged in what we're doing with this project. He's an Emerald Director on his way to Diamond. And Jared Krebs, the main man, the legend. Yes! You're awesome, Jared.
Thank you, man. All right, how's everybody doing? How are you today? Can you adjust the camera for me? I'm a little tall. All right, so guys and gals, if you are loving Diamond U, type in love in the chats right now. I am loving this experience. I am loving all of the speakers. I am loving this energy that we're all taking part of together, and what we're building is special. And right now I'm going to be talking to you about how to get somebody started right. And this is something that I presented at the International Convention that happened 2 months ago as well. So this is going to be, for some of you, you may have seen this before, but some of you haven't seen this before. But this is exactly what I do to get people started. And so I'm going to walk you through this. And of course, you're going to have access to these slides after the event as well, because I want you to copy it. Because once you have someone started, this is how you get them results fast. So we're going to switch to the PowerPoint slide deck right now. I'm going to show you 4 steps you do before a launch. So when you sign somebody up, the first things you do is you give them the USANA apps. Make sure they download 2 apps, the USANA Hub and the USANA Customer Connect apps. Then, of course, they'll have their ID and password that you'll have to probably email them or send them on a text, but they need those to log in. Then the next thing you do is you make sure that they join the USANA team Facebook groups. Okay, so you might have a team page. Make sure you add them. There's also the United States page for the United States associates. You add them there, or whatever country that you're in. I'm sure you have a country page. So that's a great thing to do. And then the next thing I do when you just signed up, like literally, if you just signed up with me, I am giving you something mindset related to listen to. All right. So I like to give Jim Rohn, Building Your Network Marketing Business. That's a classic audio. If you love Jim Rohn, type in Jim into the chats. I'm sure they're just blowing up with Jim right now. He is a legend in our industry, and there's nothing better for a new person to hear than Jim Rohn. So they're listening to Jim Rohn like the second they start with me. And the next thing I do is I give them an assignment to make a list of 20 people and bring it to the first Zoom training. Now, when I tell them this, I say, look, don't worry about it. You're not going to be messaging them right now. Just make sure that you make a list and make sure that these are people that are go-getters, people that you respect, also people that are family, people that love you. We're not going to try and sell them anything. We're just going to send them a little text and invite them to take a look. But if they come with that list of 20, then we're ready to go. All right. So if I will give you these 4 things to do, and then I might meet with you tomorrow. Okay. If I meet with you or in 2 days, now you have a couple of days to get this ready. Now let's go to the next slide, which is the first Zoom in business training. So you can see here, this is a picture of a Zoom that I did with my new associate and then her associate, Ruth Ann. So DJ is pictured there and then her associate, Ruth Ann. And so we did the first Zoom training, and this is an hour on Zoom. So you have to tell them, plan for an hour. But I need to change a slide to plan for 90 minutes because it always goes long. So make sure if you can get them to do 90 minutes, it's even better, but an hour at least. You need to have your own Zoom account. And did you guys know that you can have your own Zoom account for a discounted price of only $13 a month through Working Live? Who has Working Live? Type in Working Live in the chat right now if you have that. But if you want that, you can get that through your own USANA back office. Do you know that Zoom normally costs $50 a month? $50 a month. You get it for $13 a month through USANA. So make sure you get your own Zoom account called Working Live. It's in your hub. Ask your upline if you can. Oh, look, there's the directions. I forgot I had that. So Hub, My Business, Zoom video conferencing. So screenshot this, guys. Everyone screenshot this. This is a very important tip to get your own Zoom account and then be ready to have fun. Now, when we're talking about during the training, we talk about their why, all right? I'm going to give you some questions I want you to screenshot, but when you know the why, then the how is easy, all right? So we're going to go through those questions. I also make sure they downloaded the apps. You have to make sure it happened because sometimes they don't ever do it. So you have to inspect what you expect, all right? That's a little term in business. You have to inspect what you expect. And then the next thing we do is we craft a text and we send it to 10 people right now during the training. Why? Because I want my new person to feel protected, right? Like I'm with them and we're texting together and they get results. And then we role play to get them ready. So I'm going to walk you through how I do all of these 4 things. And I want you guys to screenshot these so you can have them and you can do it right away. So the next one we're going to talk about is the questions. So here are the questions. Number 1, question, what were your takeaways from the training video by Jim Rohn? So then they'll tell me what they liked about it. But if they didn't listen to it, I say, that's okay. I want you to listen to it tonight. And I'll ask you this again tomorrow. So no big deal. Number 2 question is very important. Why is succeeding in USANA not just an option, but a must? And write it down. That's right. So why is it a must? Well, they're going to tell you. And I'm writing that down too as their coach. Number 3. What is your 90-day income goal and 1-year income goal? Write it down. So again, this business is you're only limited by your imagination and giving yourself permission to work hard. So let them make that goal and go with whatever they say on those 2 goals. Number 4, how many hours per week can you work your business? Most people can only work their business maybe 5 to 10 hours a week in the beginning. That's okay. Maybe 10, 20 hours a week for some people, but just figure out what they say is fine. Whatever they say, usually it's 5 to 10 hours a week. But then the last question is probably the most important one on that is how are you going to time block those hours each day? Because you've got to know, okay, what part of the day are you going to be working your business? And that's also when I know to check in with them, right? If I know when they are going to be available. So you ask those questions right away and take notes on them, figure out how many hours they can put in, help them figure out when they're going to be working their business. Now let's go to the next part, the next slide. These are some quick admin items. So I'm sitting here on Zoom and check this out. I am having them share their screen. Screen share is totally revolutionized the business because now you can see their phone, right? So I actually have them share their phone screen. I help them download the apps. I help them join the Facebook groups, and it is life-changing. It's like the blind can now see when it's like I'm sitting there with them in their house, looking at their phone with them, right? So that's a quick thing. We get those things done. Then the next thing we do is I explain Premier Platinum Pacesetter. Who loves being a platinum? And if you don't love it, who wants to be one? I'm sure you guys, most of you probably already are platinum, but you can always requalify if you haven't made it yet. You can requalify every year, but this is a lifetime matching bonus. And the best way to explain it is with a video. So I share my computer screen. We watch a 3-minute video together that explains the lifetime matching bonus. And you can find it right here. Log into your hub, click on training, and then lifetime matching bonus. And when you go there, you will see this video. You can share your screen and they can watch it. And then you can say, look, this is what we're going for in your first 56 days when you get started. So you have to explain the platinum bonus and cast a vision of what it can do and why it is important. Really, because if you help people become platinum, you're helping them get a fast start. You're helping them get results. And of course, the lifetime matching bonus can be totally life-changing with the more platinums that you produce. All right, so let's continue on here. The next thing we do is we craft an invite text. Now, I want you guys to screenshot this, and I want you guys to send this text. I want you to send this text to someone right now, okay? This is one of the best texts you can send. Hi, Jenny, I'm working on something really cool I want to share with you. Could you talk later at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. on a quick call by chance? Now, since we're at Diamond U, you should probably say, can you talk Sunday night or Monday night, right? Because we're in the middle of Diamond U. We're not going to present at this moment. But this message right here gets your close friends and family to say, oh, yeah, wow, what's cool that you're working on, all right? Now, discuss if any words need to be changed. Like when I'm helping them craft their text, I make sure that they change any of the words to make it sound like them. And then have them share their phone screen on Zoom. So again, I'm seeing them type all of this out. I'm sending them copy paste texts, and it's important. Now, the next thing I do is I send the invite to 10 right now with them. So I'm literally saying, okay, it's time to send these out. Who is the first person we're going to bless? And so watch them send out the text to 10 people minimum. And I write the names down right there with them. And I give them coaching on how to respond to set the appointment. So one of the things that people are afraid of is they're just afraid to take action. So if their sponsor is there with them, helping them, watching them copy paste, working through and working through those emotions, those initial emotions, you can help your person get results and have them experience success quickly. That's the most important part of this business. They can also invite with Facebook or Instagram Messenger, right? So it's not just text. They can certainly do this on DM. Now, once they've sent that out to 10 people, literally, guys, they're getting yeses right away, and they're getting excited. And that's what you want to have happen. You want them to be like, oh my God, it's working. So the next thing is we're going to role play for what they're going to say on the phone call. So let's say that you're my new associate and you've sent out this message. And now your prospect says, yes, tell me more. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I can talk to you Sunday night. Yes. What do you have? Okay. So then you say, all right, this is what you're going to say. You're going to do, it's called an intro call. Now, this is not a presentation. This is a heart-to-heart call that tells the new prospect basically what's going on and schedules the presentation. All right. So you let the person know that they create platinum pay setters every day. Step one. So I'm going to just role play. So let's pretend that your name is Jill. Hi, Jill. How have you been? We're going to small talk for a minute, right? How was your day? How was your weekend? So Jill, I have something exciting I want to share with you. I met a person who is very down to earth, has been very successful in launching a global business project. It's in over 20 countries. It's a $1 billion brand. It's a massive opportunity. And I feel so blessed and honored that she actually invited me into it. And I started looking at people in my life and I thought of you. And I don't know if this would be for you, but I think very highly of you. So I want to share it. And even if it's not for you, I would love to get your opinion. Would you be able to jump on a 30-minute call, maybe like Sunday night at 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, so I could explain all of the details? And then they'll say, sure. Okay, sounds good. Which time is better for you? And then they say, oh, I could do 7 o'clock. Okay, perfect. That time will work. I have to get off the phone right now, but I will text you an hour before I call tomorrow. I hope you have an awesome day. Okay, so that is the script. This is a heart-to-heart call, and I literally practice this with them, and then I have them read it to me. And then I say, okay, you're good to go. You're going to say this to your prospect and you're going to set the presentation. And then they do it. And it works because it's heart-to-heart call. It's a heart-to-heart connection. Guys, this business is all about letting people know you think highly of them, letting them know that you have something exciting that you're working on, and then just asking if they're willing to take a look. Here's what people want. They want great relationships. They want a chance to have fun. They want a chance to travel. They want a chance to be in a positive environment. And so when you call them and you're excited and you say, man, this is something that I think is just, I'm very, very excited about. And you follow that script. You don't have to go off script. Just stick with that script. You will start to set presentations. So let's go to the final slides here on this. Now the presentation has been set. Now, when my new person sets the presentation, they're so excited. So here's some presentation tips. Now, you already heard from the man, Jericho Orlina, on presentations. So these are just some quick tips to do your presentation on Zoom in about 30 minutes. The mentor should be doing the presentation while the new associate watches. The new associate must speak highly of the mentor to build credibility. And you can get the work from home presentation at the hub. And actually, if you can move my screen there, Jericho, at the bottom. So there we go. Access the work from home by going to the hub, My Business, and Share USANA Media Center. That's where the company presentation is at. So that is where you're going to be able to do this. And this is obviously, there's other presentations maybe that your upline has. So if your upline is giving you a presentation, use the one that they're giving you. But if you don't have one, then this is the one that you can go and get because this is the company presentation. All right, now we always end our first hour in business with an assignment. So I always schedule a call 30 minutes before the first presentation. Like, because if my new person has a presentation on Sunday night, I want to talk to them 30 minutes in advance, and I want to teach them how to share their story, right? I'm also going to have them attend the next training that's coming up, maybe the next Diamond U or the next team training. And then I'm also going to have them choose an activity goal. Because if your brand new person is excited, I'm going to say, okay, you can have some options. If you want to be excellent, do 10 a day for 10 days, 10 invites a day for 10 days in a row. If you want to grow really fast. Or if you want to take it a little bit more slow, do 5 invites a day for 5 days in a row. Or 2 invites a day for 5 days in a row. But just get them to start to invite regularly and start to set presentations. Now, casting the vision over time. This is really what gets people to take the next step in their business. You always need to be casting the vision every single day for your team to see. So introduce your team to other USANA leaders via 3-way calls or Zooms. I've had Zooms where I introduce all the leaders from Diamond U in personal Zooms with my team. What do you think that does for my team? They get to the USANA vision. I even do one-on-one 3-way calls with the associates. I FaceTime them when I'm out in Park City. I FaceTime my team members. I show them what's going on. You've got to cast the vision every single day. All right. And then, of course, hosting webinars with successful leaders who share their story. So, guys, your job is to create an organization. Your job is to create a team. And the way you create a team is you got to find the best people. You have to cast the vision every day and show them what's possible. You train them in the basics, and then you cut them loose and you let them go off and be producers. Okay, so that is what this game is all about. So thank you very much. It has been my pleasure and an honor to talk to you tonight about getting started right. And again, when it comes to this presentation, this will be available to you at the when the presentation slides are sent out, so that you can take this and use it. But make sure that you are doing that first Zoom in Business training. And now it is time for our next speaker. Our next speaker is one of the masters at promoting events. His name is Brian Penrod. And if I could get back to the camera, Jericho. There we go. Thank you, sir. All right. So you guys are about to hear from, again, so funny. I got to introduce Brian twice today. But this time when I introduced Brian, I had to tell you that he is one of the masters at promoting events. So far today, we've talked about all the skills. We've talked about finding prospects. We've talked about inviting. We've talked about presenting. We've talked about follow-up and close. We've talked about objections. We've talked about getting started right. So we've talked about all the skills that you have to learn. But the last skill, if you can learn these skills and master them, then the sky is the limit for you and your business. But the last skill is the highest paid skill. It's called promoting events. What are we at right now? We're at an event. And there is no one better to talk about promoting events than someone who has had thousands of people in his business at events. And that is Mr. Brian Penrod. He is a foundation executive, 5-star diamond, I hope you're ready to take notes and learn because he has made a huge impact in the USANA world, and he is a master at promoting events. Mr. Brian Penrod.
Yes.
Yes, my man.
Do it again. I'm loving it.
Thanks, brother.
Beautiful. Hello, everybody. So excited about this topic because I got to live it. And, for those of you that ended up purchasing a super VIP pass, we're going to be doing this amazing training late tonight. And it's going to be kind of exciting for me because it's like it's about our compensation plan. It's about the vision of our plan. And to me, just thinking, how amazing is it that, Jared Krebs is in my network under business center number 17. I mean, that's just crazy, man, to think about. And I remember hearing early on in network marketing, how amazing it would be to have an achiever or a director in my team somewhere that I didn't even know that they existed even because your network had grown large enough. And then thinking about, wouldn't it be amazing to have a gold director one day or even a ruby director one day in my team that, oh my gosh, never even met them before, didn't even know they were on the map. Imagine having a business like that where you had a diamond director you never even met yet. And that's what's possible if you learn this skill. This skill is critical. So before I really paint this picture for you, we have to really understand that this system that we're talking about, that we've talked about today, the system is the secret. And the degree to which you plug into that system and learn that system and experience that system will be very, very advantageous to the degree that you grow your business. And then you take that on. Obviously, this is a business of duplication. Then when you bring on your top two people, you're going to be doing the same thing. The system's the secret. Those of you that become effective at being able to plug your associates into that system, that's where you're going to see other people like Jared Krebs and Jeremy Stansfield and Jericho Orlina and Patty Roney and Monica Penrod and just so many amazing speakers, be able to effectively equip, train, inspire, educate your people to grow their businesses. And then it just keeps duplicating on and on and on. The system's the secret. How to plug people into that system is what this is really all about. So yes, this is definitely a promotion business and events. Events are, we promote the products, right? We promote USANA. We even promote ourselves, right? But learning this skill is it's the number one thing. It's what helps people really move from. I mean, are you somebody that's doing this business part-time? And if you are, and you have a goal to go to a full-time income eventually, learning this skill is what helps people propel people from part-time status into full-time. That's for sure. So there's also a huge difference between promoting events and just announcing events, right? So it's real simple to just announce events. Takes almost no time at all. You whip out an email, boom, push blast. You put out a mass message to your team in some way on social media, and boom, it's done, right? Or you send out a few text messages. A lot of people network that you're trying to really help grow, right? In a way, one of the ways you can think about it with events is that you're still promoting events as if they are still prospects and not necessarily associates at the time. And some of the ways that we do that, I mean, you've got to pick up the phone. That's the number one thing you got to do. You got to make that call. And that's where, you're going to have people, you're going to have so many associates that will go to an event and I love the ones that give me an objection. Like they have something going on with their family, something going on with work, or maybe it's some other issue that they come up with. And they're my favorite because when you're able to paint the picture of what an event can do for them, like a Diamond University or a USANA International Convention, or maybe your own team's annual event that you do just with your team. It's when you have them on the phone, you're able to answer their objections. You're able to help them walk through the process and really understand why they really, really need to be there. Because I got to tell you, this skill right here, you'll want to do anything and everything you can do to promote, to get them. I'm going to tell you some stories in a few minutes about some people that came to events on our team, and then what happened out of that. And it wasn't easy to get them there. I mean, it was almost like half of my work in certain weeks in this business were literally just promoting the events effectively, getting associates on the phone, helping them plan out with their team and developing their lists on who's going, who's in the I'm going for sure category, who's in the maybe category, and then who's in the no category, right? And then moving them on along. Now, when you're brand new in this business as well, you can certainly, especially if you're brand new, use your upline expert to help you promote the event, because that's how you're going to learn, right? You've been promoted to go to an event before, right? I remember the feeling, and I trusted my upline expert, and I knew that because of the way this business model works, my success is my upline success. And it's such a beautiful win-win business that way. And that's how you're going to learn what to say, how to say it, the urgency, and placing urgency on getting that ticket now, because the sooner that you get people committed to attending an event, then obviously that increases the likelihood substantially, number one, that they're going to go, but number two, more importantly, even that they're going to duplicate that process, because boom, they already put their money down. They're going, they got their, whatever their ticket to an event like this. If we open up in-person events one day down the road, then, they'll get their airline tickets early, and then they'll have even more on the line, right? And just helping people to overcome objections, like maybe a time objection of why. And really, it comes down to the why. And that's what your upline or yourself, you're going to learn how to paint the picture of how big it is. So there are certain event KPIs, key performance indicators. For example, I learned early on that the greatest common denominator of successful associates that move on in USANA to hit gold director and beyond is that they will absolutely never miss an international convention. Or like, for example, now they're international, but the Americas in Europe convention, right? So for me, each and every year, I'm planning in advance how many people not just in my entire organization, but more importantly, in my project legs, the ones that aren't yet doing 5,000 a week, the ones that aren't yet doing 50,000 points a week, and just setting my own goals of who I want to get to international convention. And hopefully you should be doing that already now, thinking about how many people do you want at international convention. And then the other KPIs I would look at all along the way are, what events am I promoting in between international convention? Is it going to be 2 or 3 Diamond Universities this year? May it be 2 Diamond Universities and 1 team event? But I really look for 3 to 4 major events per year to plug my people into, to promote that they get to at all costs, because of the long-term, the massive changes. When you show up to a USANA International Convention and you see, or you're online and you see this massive wave of people online, like I'm looking at the screen right now and seeing all of you. It's so powerful to see that, wow, if all of these people can do this business, then I certainly can too. And then thinking about, breaking it on down into, monthly events and, team events, and the KPI indicators of, how many people are attending my power hour this week, or, a prospecting, any sort of a prospecting event that you have. How many people in your team are plugging into group presentation events? So really breaking this on down to the ridiculous, and then moving all the way on up to international conventions. So those are some of mine. And yes, plan these events, maybe even 1 to 2 years in advance. When you do that way and you set your goal, like I'm thinking right now, like international convention in my two major project legs that I'm working on. I want 300 brand new associates in my network. And most of them don't even they exist, but they're not onboarded yet, but they're sure gonna be, because I've set that goal and I'm working backwards in my actions. I'm breaking it on down to the ridiculous daily on what to do to help propel that goal to its ultimately it being achieved. And I would recommend that you do the same thing. Think maybe 1 to 2 years out. And if you're newer, maybe think next international convention, next convention for the Europe and America, how many people you're going to have there. So my first international convention story, I tell you what, I was newer in the business. I had barely hit the director level. And I think I had around I think I had about 40 to 50 people on my team at that point in time. And maybe I wasn't as effective of a promoter at that point in time. I don't know, maybe that's what it was, but there was 5 people that went to the international convention. It was me and my business partner, and then 3 of our associates. Okay, so 2 of them were from my city, San Antonio, Texas. One was an achiever. The other one was a brand new believer at the time. And neither one of them could afford to go. I got all of the objections in the world because they were financially just totally strapped. And not only could they not afford to go, but one of them, their only family vehicle just went kaput. They didn't have a way to get there. So we're like being creative and whatever. And we ended up finding them a car to be able to use from someone else. And oh my gosh, the stories when they showed up. They drove 23 hours straight. They said they almost died a couple of times on the way. Literally like a tire popped. I mean, all kinds of stuff happened on this trip, but they showed up. And then that third person from Chicago showed up. You know what happened that next year, the 2 from San Antonio, they both became gold directors, and explosive momentum happened out of that. And then that other person from Chicago, he became an achiever. So all 3 of the associates, I mean, we were like really, we all stayed in the same room. We were like family. I mean, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And so from that, I set a goal. How many people do I want to attend next international convention? And then broke it down onto the quarterly events and then the monthly and weekly events. And that next year was phenomenal. It went from 5 people to 14 people. And that next year I had become a silver director in USANA. And oh gosh, I was working so hard. I had just gone full time, was so excited, had just fired my boss. And I was on top of the world. I mean, they were exciting times. So I just kept working it and working it and working it and working it. And then eventually year number 3 came around. And those 14 people, they doubled again to 33 people showed up to international convention. And then, just kept working the system, plugging people into the system, going out there and prospecting, onboarding new associates and customers, having other people that were better than me train my people for me, which was just so awesome how the teamwork is generated in this. And then that next year, it grew from 33 to 133 people. That was year number 4. And in that year, oh my gosh, it was magic. I was just thinking about it right before I walked up here. I remember being a silver director at the time. And man, I was super, super motivated. I wanted gold director, ruby, emerald, and diamonds. Then in the next few years, launching new countries, I couldn't even, I had a hard time keeping track of how many people are at convention. And, massive waves of people from another country coming in, and then, United States, and then year after year, another country. It's just super exciting times. So thank you. And I'm not sure who I'm supposed to be introducing next. Is it Patty? Okay, thank you. I tell you what, I've grown to know this woman so much more this last year. And she is genuinely cares and is interested in you. You know that from the first time you meet with her. She's so real. She's responsible for the global webinars that happen around the world for USANA. Her Patty Roney Global Webinars, I love them. If you haven't tuned into one of those yet, you are missing out. She's a Dr. Wentz Vision Award winner, and she's just a huge leader. I love you. I think you're amazing. I want to give you a hug. We're almost like roommates this week too.
You take that out of
We're sharing the bathroom.
We're sharing the bathroom. Oh my gosh, you all, this is so amazing. And I know I've got to make sure I don't go over and on time, but I want to let you know that what has been put together for Diamond University, both times, both in May and November, virtual for you, but some of the speakers are here in person. And if you could see what we have going on here, if you could see the equipment, you could see the studio we're in right now. And I'm so grateful for Ben, who's hosting us. If you could see the work that Jeremy and Jared and Crystal have put in on so God gave you your personality. You know, it's just like your hair and your eyes and your height. Those are not things that we decided that we're going to be this personality. But we do have strengths and weaknesses in every personality type. And in this case, we want to work to our strengths. You know, there'll be times in other instances that you will be working on weaknesses. This is not one of those. In fact, in a personality type, if we can kind of capture your strengths in that particular personality type, and then if we can even kind of start to borrow some of the skills of the other personality types, it's an amazing way to be well-rounded. And let's skip all the negatives and all the weaknesses. So I'm going to name them. I'm just going to give you a quick description, but I'm going to pretend you are my client. Do you know I do this with my prospects? And the reason I do is because many of them are strangers. And if they're strangers to me, I want to make sure that I'm talking to them correctly. So if I had just met you on social media, you've been following me, you've been following my posts, we've kind of started to communicate. I've looked at your profile, I've looked at your bio, I've looked at some of your posts. So we have a little bit of an understanding. And now we're going to have a conversation. And this is how I would go into it. So I want you to take notes. There's nothing on a PowerPoint. So I would say to you, so I'm going to say, Jeremy, here's Jeremy right here. And so we're going to role play here. But Jeremy, I would really quickly, is Michael on? Okay, great, Michael. So if I had just met Michael, let's say Michael. So if I just met Michael, I might be saying to Michael, before I even do a consultation or discuss with you the information that I have about USANA, I would love to just do that fast personality types test. And if you can help me with who you are as a personality, then it's going to help me talk to you in your own language. Now, last time we were here, Brian and I did one, and he was working with love languages in there at the same time. So if you have worked on that book, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to say, Michael, there are primary personality types and then kind of your secondary, the backup. Sometimes it's just a better place to fall in the situation. So some of you will know names, some will know colors. So a promoter is blue if you know colors. So a promoter is just real fun loving. They love crowds, they love people, they love stages, they love microphones, they love to help people, but they love to help them in a crowd, almost in a let's do this kind of manner. And so they are real extroverted personality types. But their negatives or their weaknesses could be that they are super fast, super impulsive. They overbook their time. They overextend their money. They overextend with their yeses. They say yes to everybody for every reason, and there's no way they can possibly manage that. So think about if that happens to be you. Now, you might be the other extroverted personality type, which is a controller driver. And that person is a great CEO. They command troops, they command people very well. They see it and they do it and they go and people follow them. And they're very skilled generally. But I think that the title is very obvious, that the negatives can easily be bossiness and rudeness and being just too short with people and short-tempered even. And so we never want to go there. Now, what about the supporter? Oh, by the way, that's a red personality. The supporter is the yellow personality. Now, they're introverted. They are behind the scenes. They hate the mic. They hate the stage. They back up. They wear black and gray. They kind of disappear in the corner, but they love what they do. They love to make everyone else look good. They love to make everyone else successful. So that's a great personality type. They all are. But what happens on their weaknesses? Well, the weaknesses are that they disappear and they don't actually believe they have a voice and they don't think they have anything important to say. And so they actually just become behind the scenes. Now, what about the analyst, the other introverted personality type? That's the personality that is all about numbers, charts, graphs. Analyst is green if you are in colors. And what is the only thing wrong with that? That it's called paralysis by analysis. They get on rabbit trails and they spend 4 hours when they should have just been looking at one detail, right? And so I ask my prospect, I would ask Michael, what's your primary, what's your secondary? And then I would go into actually helping speak his language when I'm trying to explain USANA to him or when I'm doing a consultation with him. And Michael's on the screen. So Michael, let's have you answer that question. This is Michael, one of our fabulous Star Diamonds. He is not in person here, and we're so sorry you're not. But Michael, we're so grateful to have you on today.
No, it's awesome to be here for sure. It was a really good breakdown. I think you covered obviously all the 4 personalities, not just the strengths, but the weaknesses. And that's just being aware of those things, I think, can really help you grow. Because sometimes people are not aware, right? So I think for me, my personality profile really goes into that first one you mentioned, the promoter personality. And I remember my upline who first trained me in this business, he was very much like an analyst. He was very much like a driver type personality. So he was like a little bit of a hybrid, right? And I used to drive him crazy because I was that person, overbooking, saying yes to everything. So my whole thing was like, just book it. Like if somebody would say like, hey, is there a presentation tomorrow? Yes. Is there a presentation in the morning tomorrow? Yes. Is there one at 7 a.m.? Yes. Like it was yes. Like my whole thing was just book it. You know what I mean? Like just book everything because I was afraid to lose a potential prospect. So that could be a good thing, right? Sometimes because you want to have as many presentations set up as possible. But like Patty mentioned, as you mentioned earlier, it turns into a negative sometimes because you're overextending. So yeah, we were definitely overbooking sometimes. I was flaking on presentations. I wasn't showing up. My upline wasn't able to do it and I was driving him insane. And it probably drove him to the point where he was like, I'm just not going to do presentations for this guy anymore. Like, I'm done with you. Like, and that was like where I kind of had to step out and just be my own person at that point, because I was just scheduling too many things and he just, we weren't on the same wavelength with that, right? Our personalities were clashing. So you're going to have situations like that where you're kind of clashing with people in your group, or it's just not working at sometimes. I think you have to grow as a person, and I feel like over the years I've definitely grown, and different people that I've worked with, we've kind of come to an agreement, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, I see it now. But it's hard to understand moving forward. I think we live life forward and then we understand it backward. If that kind of makes sense to you guys, right? We live it forward and we understand it backward. I think a lot of the analysts that Patty talked about, they try to understand forward. And that's the whole paralysis by analysis, where you're trying to understand USANA forward. If you're a promoter like myself, you're that kind of person that says, let's just try it. Let's do it, right? Like, is this going to work? I don't know. Let's try it. So you're that type of person, right? So you kind of have to learn how to adapt some of those types of strategies, because you can't really understand this business forward. As I mentioned, somebody says to repeat the quote, you have to live it forward and understand it backward. That's really the way it goes, right? You can't understand it forward. Everybody wants to say, how do I understand USANA? Teach me USANA. And it's like, well, it's hard to teach somebody USANA. There's so much, right? It's empirical. It's based on information. You're going to have to go through the experiences. So a lot of people on this call, I'm going to assume that a lot of people on this call are probably those analysts, right? People that want to learn more. They want to absorb the information. They want to say like, what can I learn? What can I learn? Like more learning, more learning. I would say, Patty, what do you feel? Do you feel that you've learned more? I mean, of course, we learn by being in trainings, but do you feel like you've learned more by being in a training or learned by doing it? Like, where do you feel like you gain the most knowledge?
Well, you're going to retain when you do. You're only going to retain about 10% of what we are learning at an event. That's why we screenshot and we take so many notes, because we're not going to retain it all. But when you go out and you have an experience, even a bad experience, even when you come home and go, oh, I did such a bad job with that, I need to go do it again so I can learn. I feel like that makes us work in action. And I think that's going to be where we learn. And it's okay, because most of the time people have great response when they're out there and they're expecting bad response. And I think it's great to get out there and just have fun and making friends.
Right. Well, if there's something that I can leave you guys with is, since my personality is that promoter, hopefully some of that rubs off, right, on some people that need it right now. I mean, if you're an analyst or you're a driver or you're a supporter, that's wonderful. You already have that in you. So I think when you spend time with other people that have different personalities, surprisingly, like it's productive, right? Because it kind of rubs off on you a little bit. You know, like I've spent time with Jeremy or with like Jared. Like Jared is very much like that, right? Like he's very structured, he's organized, like he has everything together, like I don't know. I would look at Jared almost like an analyst in some ways, like very much a sponge. I'm not sure if he would identify himself that way. When I think about Jared, like the guy has like a structure, he has a script, he does things like that. It's awesome to see him work. So maybe spend time with someone like that. If you need to grow in some areas, spend time with somebody that has that personality and see if it rubs off on you a little bit. So for me, I'll leave you guys with this. I remember when I first started in USANA, we always talked about like, all right, let's get some training, right? Like what's the best training? So what I would tell all my associates, it didn't matter what personality type they were, but especially the analysts, when I looked at them, I already knew they were trying to figure it out. I'd say, all right, let's try this. Let's try rollerblading as an example. Rollerblading is the best example, or ice skating, best example. We can read a book on ice skating. We can read a book on rollerblading. We can take 10 classes, watch 5 hours of video, and do all of this, right? Rollerblading, right? And what happens as soon as you put the skates on, what's going to happen? If you've never skated before, you've never rollerbladed before, you're going to slip. You're going to fall. You're going to fall on your bum. So the best thing that I could do is give you the pads, right? Give you the elbow pads, give you the wrist guards, give you the butt pads, give you the knee pads, give you all the pads, and just prepare you for those falls, because it's going to happen no matter what. So just practicing the prospecting, understanding the personalities. You're not going to get it right every single time, but just having those pads that Patty gave you, that she equipped you with right now, it's going to definitely go a long way in your business. So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit, and I look forward to seeing you guys more throughout this weekend.
And I want to just add to all of you that I think one of the mistakes that is made in personality types is using the weaknesses as an excuse. Rather than leaning into the wonderful things about your personality type, just using it as an excuse and backing way back. And maybe the supporters would be, more have a tendency to back into the corner and be just quiet. And we're so happy to have him back all the way from Canada, right? Am I right, Katie?
Yes, you're right, Patty. So it's actually an honor to be introduced by a Patty Roney. So thank you for the wonderful, great talk. But again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or wherever you are. Hope you're having a great day. So I think it's very late on the eastern part. So I think it's already 10 p.m. there. So you're probably falling asleep already, but it's okay. Okay, so we still have 4 hours. So just hold on. Just hold on just a little bit more. So again, I am very honored to talk to you guys here tonight, and I was asked to actually talk about my journey here in USANA. Again, I've only been here in USANA for 2 years, so some of you might be able to relate with my journey. Some of you might be able to look after what are the things that I've done that you can do as well to make your journey faster. And for me, it's really an honor because I remember myself when I was starting, I wouldn't really have the confidence to talk in front of many. I wouldn't even have the confidence to talk in front of 10 people. But right now I'm speaking with 328. So really, it's an awesome opportunity. Again, thankful. I'm really thankful for the guys behind this. Jared, Jeremy, they're all the way there in Utah. Just imagine they have this great program for everyone. If you like what my upline, actually, Jericho Orlina is my upline, and he's one of the mentors that really molded me in the business. Like what he said, just imagine Jeremy, some of those big guys of USANA, Brian, and the other guys, Patty, as well, and Krista. Imagine they already have a solid business. They're earning so much already, but how come they made an event like this? Just think about it, right? So it's not really about the income. It's all about it's the purpose and why they're doing USANA. So today I'm gonna talk to you about my journey, my story, how I got invited to USANA, and I'm gonna give you some tips at the end. It would just be quick because I think I only have 10 minutes. So I hope you can learn something. You can learn a lot from my journey. So let me just share my screen. So I entitled it From Broke to Breakthrough. So I will tell you why. But this was my background before I started USANA. So by the way, nice to meet you. I'm Katie Labrador. I'm from Alberta, Canada. I'm currently an executive goal director, and I started USANA at the age of 18. I actually dropped out of college, so I will tell you later why. So it's quite an introduction. But yeah, I dropped out in college when I hit Share in USANA. So it's quite surprising. And then I actually don't have any business background, no experience in network marketing, as I was 18 back then. I didn't even have any idea about businesses. And I was only living here in Canada for 4 years. So I'm from the Philippines before here. So I didn't really have that much network to be able to do this business, and living alone with not much resources. So what do I mean by that? It was my grandpa and my grandma that raised me. My parents were overseas already. They were working in Canada. So I grew up away from them, and it actually took 10 years for us to be together. So I came here in Canada back in 2015, and it was quite an adjustment that had to be done, because imagine living most of your life. I was 14 when I came here in Canada, and it's a new environment, new culture. So basically everything is new. But myself, I was the same person I think it was my first 3 years in Canada, and I was still the same person that I was in the Philippines. So I graduated in high school at 2018. So I actually graduated underage, so 17 years old. And then I went into college as a 17 years old guy. And the best part is actually achieving it, right? I don't know if some of you would be able to remember your high school days. Some of you would be able to remember those days, those times, walking on the stage, walking on the aisle, getting your name called. It was it's actually one of the biggest days that I've ever experienced, because I'm not really the person that gets awarded a lot as I didn't really focus so much with school. I was the guy who will just have fun at school. Basically, that was me. And then after I graduated high school, after 2 months, I went straight to college. So I basically put it here. I was unprepared when I went to college. What do I mean by unprepared? I wasn't prepared financially. I wasn't prepared emotionally. I wasn't prepared psychologically, because imagine financially, I didn't have any savings. I didn't have any job. So basically all I had was student loans, which a lot of people would apply for just to go into college. Imagine paying for that loan for 15, 20 years of your life. It's like a pain in the back. And for me, I wasn't thinking that time. It's just I was under so much pressure that, you know, how some of the parents would say to their kids that if you don't go to college, you won't have any future. You won't have a brighter future. And for me, I was actually pressured at that time. And with that thought that would always come out to my mind, if I don't finish college, I would end up nowhere. And I was also unsure if this was the course or if this was the life that I'm going to take, that I'm going to be living at when I grow older. So basically, the sad part, I only went to college for the fun part. All right. So I experienced what they call the life of a teenager back in college. So I don't know if some of you have experienced that back in the days. But for me, that was the part that I really look after for. Not the studying, not the good grades, not the high GPA, not the graduating. It was the fun part, right? Because I told you I was never really academically motivated. So if you're a student right now, I'm advising you finish your course. That's the best part that I can advise, right? But then suddenly one thing happened. The biggest flip of my life happened on my second year college. My car, okay, that car has a great name. Car's name is Amanda, by the way. I got into an accident. It was a life to death accident, so it was pretty scary. That was the time when I saw my life flashed in front of me. Basically, everything was just like everything that had happened in my life basically come up to my head in a few seconds. That the car was spinning, it hit a huge tree where it landed, and it was scary at that time, right? So for me, that's where I started valuing life. Because a lot of people, they look at life as it's something that it just goes through the day. Okay, they look at life as you're just gonna live, and that's okay. Just live until they see the value of their life when something bad happens, right? I don't know if some of you have been confined in a hospital. Some of you had lost someone. Some of you actually experienced something that made you start like realizing the value of life. Because for me, before this accident happened, I was actually living a YOLO life. You only live once. But after this accident, that's when I started realizing that you don't live once. You live every single day of your life. So you really need to learn how to value it. And you only die once. Because if you limit yourself that you're only going to live once, then you're going to stop living your life every single day. And you're just going to let a day pass without doing anything new. So after that accident, I was broke and then became more broke because of this accident. So imagine being in debt at the age of 18. It was quite tough for me. And so what was my solution back then? My solution was to work, find a job, pay my debts, pay everything that I have to pay for. And then I was ignoring all the opportunities around me. Basically, I wasn't really looking for anything. And then I've been seeing a lot of opportunities around me. I was actually thinking of getting a double job, working for 2 jobs. I've been seeing this social media posts of other people about their business, everything. But I was ignoring all of that until I found Usana, because one of my he's like my older brother outside of the business. We're not related, but that's just how I treat him. He's my basketball teammate and everything. He invited me and Usana actually 5 times, and all those 5 times I actually never said yes. But on the 6th time, I was actually the one who came up to him and asked him, "What do you do?" So you will have some prospects that would act that way. Imagine you invited them 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. No matter how many times, just don't stop. Because time will come. Like, just always remember, there is no wrong prospect. There's only wrong timing. Okay, so basically, you just have to wait for that time that your prospect suddenly will start realizing, why do they need this opportunity? And then when I got presented by Usana, the funny part about it is that I didn't really understand anything much. Let's say I didn't understand 90% of the presentation. All I understood was the founder was a scientist, and that's it. After that part, I was basically in a sudden moment of, why do I need to listen to this? But then I actually paid in, or actually I signed up, right on the spot after the presentation. I don't know how, but I think it just got me to the flow where he started asking for my first name, last name. Then it just keeps going until to my card details and everything. And then I just gave it. That's the weird part. I just gave everything. So, and then after that, I started in USANA with a little bit of regret when I started, because imagine my sign up package was 200 points. It was around $395 for Americas. For Canada and US, I think it's 200 points on getting started. Imagine I basically paid $395, and the only money or the only amount I have on my bank account that time was around 406. I can't really remember, but it's around that $407. So after I signed up with USANA, I actually went to the corner store near our house, and then I just bought an ice cream to relieve the sadness of how sad it is to look at my bank account. I think I only had like $7-8 in my checking account after signing up with USANA. But again, I had all the excuses that I could come up with when I was starting USANA. But for me, one of the biggest realization that I had is that there's not going to be a right time on when you're going to do USANA. When are you going to get this business seriously? There is no right time on when are you going to take action within your business. There is no right age, because some people would be like, I'm still too young, or maybe I'm too old to do USANA. There is no right age to do USANA. There is no right situation. Some people are just waiting for that right sign. They're waiting for something to fall down from the sky and hits their head and somehow make them realize that you have to do USANA. There's no such thing like that. What there is only a right decision that you've already decided to start your USANA business, and that's the best decision that you have made throughout your whole life. Just imagine, you already have an opportunity that a lot of people are wishing for, a lot of people are praying for, a lot of people are seeking for, but you're here already. So maximize that. Do not put that into a waste. But again, when I started in USANA, I could have used all the excuses that I could come up with. I was broke. I didn't have any money. What would I do with my auto order? How would I be able to sustain my business throughout, knowingly there's an auto order to pay for monthly? I had very low self-confidence because I was just coming back up from the accident. I was actually depressed at that time coming out from the accident. I didn't have a job when I started. I was a student living in a basement with no job, paying for rent, paying for bills, paying for expenses. And I had a pretty small network, actually. I'm not the person to really go out and socialize as much. I have this certain personality that I don't want to spend my energy with other people. When I started USANA, not anymore. And I barely had any furniture. That's the worst excuse that I could have used, because imagine all I had was a Tupperware and I could just put my laptop on top of it, and that's all I had. But the best part, or the worst part, is when I started USANA I think this was my 6th week. Okay, so on my 6th week, I even tried to quit. So this was my volume history report on my first 6 weeks in USANA. I hit my share rank on my 4th week. And then I had another $61 CVP. And then on my 6 weeks, I even tried to quit. So why did I put Mentor Jericho's picture here? Because at that time, when I wanted to quit, I actually told him. I even called him and I told him, Mentor, I want to quit USANA. And then what he realized, or what he made me realize, is that it's okay to quit. That's what he told me. It's okay, bro. You can quit. But the question is, are you willing to go back to the life that you had before? And with that question, I somehow got the realization, that's the point why I started USANA. I didn't like the life that I had before. I didn't like where my life was going. I didn't like how I was living my life before. And maybe that's the reason why USANA came into my life. And after that, I restarted. I started learning. I went back to basics. I started attending trainings every single day without missing any. I would be always present with the trainings, with the Zoom meetings. I would also ask the people who has results into the business, what do they do? What are their activities? What are their habits? And then imagine when I hit my share in my 4th week, after that week, I actually hit Achiever. That was the week I personally sponsored, I think, 11 direct sponsor, and all of those was cold market in 1 week. So it's really possible, even if you don't have any network, you still do have a little bit of network. But for me, that week, that's where I put all of my focus, my action, my consistency, and everything I could do. And after I think after 2 months, I hit my director. And then my 4th month here into the business, I hit my silver director, hit my gold directorship on my 8th month, and became an executive gold at 18 months. So gold is your next goal here in USANA. Let me tell you already, you're gonna be able to get to gold. All right. But here's just one of my realization. I may not be one of the fastest, but I kept going even if there wasn't anything happening within my business. Just always remember, it's not the things that you do when things are going your way that would produce results. It's the things that you do, even if nothing is happening, that would produce the most result in your business. And imagining my other achievements, when I hit gold, I hit a lot of travel incentives. I hit 3 travel incentives, and then when I hit executive gold, I hit my leadership summit, like another travel incentive. I was actually in the top 50 growth. And in our province, I was actually top 5 with growth and income. But again, here's a reminder for everyone: it doesn't matter when will you get there. To whatever your goal is, you will get there eventually. What's more important is who you will be when you get there. So really embrace the process. All right. So again, it doesn't matter when. The most important part is that you're gonna get there. But the question is, you're gonna change. All right. Like one of my mentors will always tell me, the successful version of you isn't who you are right now. So you're still gonna change. So you really have to embrace the process, because that's the best part of your journey here in USANA. So before I end this talk, I'm gonna give you some 5 huge tips to take your USANA business to the next level. Number 1 is really be coachable and teachable. So don't be an IKEA type of person. What does IKEA mean? I know everything already. If you're that person, if you catch yourself saying that at sometimes, I know everything already, then that's really a bad attitude that you're gonna have if you want to do this business. Because imagine you do not know everything, and you will never know everything. That's why learning something new is always better than doing nothing. And again, your uplines and mentors will never say such thing, and they would never say anything bad to ruin your business. So whatever they tell you, your uplines, your mentors, that just do it. Always have that yes mentor, yes upline, yes coach attitude that you have within your uplines and your mentors. Number 2, produce, reproduce. You are the only one that is in control of your business. Your personal production will be the standard of the organization you're building. So let's say if you're producing less, your organization will also produce less. But if you're producing more, you're bringing up your organization to produce more. Again, your uplines or mentors will help you to get started, but the part of keeping your business going will be up to you. All right. And like what my upline would always say, there's no one that's going to be held accountable for your own results but yourself. And number 3 tip is that it's either you do some progress or you use some excuses. You may come up with the most valid excuse that you can think of, but that same excuse is what's going to stop you from being successful. Just remember, excuses are just a product of your laziness. So if ever you catch yourself in some time thinking about any excuse, you're just being lazy. And number 4, have a big vision. When there's you've probably heard of this, when there's no vision, the people perish. But again, here's the most important part. How you see USANA is how you'll do USANA. If you look at USANA as a small-time business, then don't expect that you're going to earn big amount of money here. If you see USANA as just a part-time business, then don't expect that your dreams might be able to come true. You have to look at USANA as something big, as a vehicle to wherever you want to head in life. You have to make yourself see USANA more. All right. And then lastly, Number 5, selective hearing. If you buy into someone's opinion, you're also buying into their lifestyle. Just a quick example. You wouldn't listen how to cure a disease from a farmer. You also wouldn't listen how to build the house from a doctor. So again, never listen on how you will succeed in USANA to someone who isn't even doing USANA. So really just listen to those successful people that have done USANA. So again, back in May 2021, I just want to show you this. Back in May 2021, I told myself on the next Diamond U, I have to be a speaker there. And imagine right now it's happening. So what's my point? Whatever you want, it exists. So just don't give up. Just keep on going. You're gonna have that results. You're gonna have that rank advancement. You're gonna have that life that you've been wanting for. So again, let's connect. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and don't hesitate to leave me a message. I will try to come up, reply to you. But again, it's really an honor to speak with you guys. And I'm just gonna, I think it's to Jeremy. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna bring it back to Jeremy.
Awesome job, KD. Great content, my friend. All right, guys, I am so excited to announce our next speakers, and hopefully they're ready. So we see them here, and if you want to go ahead and add them as a spotlight, once they turn their video off, you can go ahead and do that as I do the intro here. But I got to say that, like, I started traveling to build business internationally over 20 years ago, and his family to Auckland didn't know much English. His wife Jenny also had a hardworking job as well and didn't know much English either. But as we walked through learning about each other and eventually building a friendship, a relationship, and a very substantial business relationship, I got to tell you, I am so proud of this incredible couple and their whole organization, all of you that are part of our Diamond University that are actually in their organization. And of course, a lot of their organization are Chinese as well. So they some of them speak Chinese and can't really be on this particular one. We'll have some in the future that work for them. But I got to say that they have gone above and beyond. They are the only ones within my entire organization that even passed me by being the #1 top earner worldwide in the company in 2008 and 2009. I was actually really happy and really relieved to see this incredible company or couple go all the way to the top of this incredible company and secure the #1 spot, not just for 1 year like I did, but continue to keep their head down, focused, setting the right example, really out there carrying the vision of Dr. Myron Wentz and all the rest of the science around the world. And I got to say that I can't even keep up with them. They've got so much going on all the time and so much energy. It's just so great to see. We're very proud to have them speaking for our Diamond University. And I pay very close attention to the things that they have to share with you. They have a PowerPoint they'll be going through. This is just one of the first slides of it, but I think they'll actually be going through their PowerPoint. If not, we'll rotate it for them. But Bill and Jenny Huang are 17-star Diamond directors. Oh my gosh. And they are not slowing down. They have secured that #1 top earning spot globally in our company for so many years now, I can't even count them all. So very, very proud of you guys. Take it away. Tell us how you built this amazing business. We're all ears. I love you, Bill and Jenny.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy, our hero. Thank you. Thank you. I share a PowerPoint. Thank you very much. Thank you, our God. Thank you, USANA. Thank you, our USANA family. Thank you, STI family. Today, we are very happy to share with you about USANA. "22 years ago, our hero, our alumni Jeremy, came to New Zealand talking about us USANA. At first, I didn't agree. Jenny doing USANA. But Jeremy is also master of hold up. He told me 3 times on the phone. He said, Bill, you need to seriously consider thinking of Usana. Usana can change your life 3 times. Indeed, Usana, like him say, changed my life. Our Usana STI family life, our family life. So I told Jenny, maybe Jeremy is our lucky man to lock the door. We need to open our mind to think, to have a research Usana. Because Jeremy gave us one slogan. He said, the life opportunity is 1 or 2 times. I think Usana is 1 time okay, enough. Every year before COVID-19, we travel with Jeremy, follow Usana, give us so many times to travel Europe, travel Australia, travel anywhere in the world. So we learn from our hero, our alumni, Jeremy, so much. This time we want to thank you, big thank you, our alumni. Jeremy Stanford. Also, today, our topic is how to build up Usana, because we need to know your original intention. Why you join Usana? This is very important. So mindset need to set up. The second one is you need to take lots of actions. We remember the first 2 years, we driving a car, running 100,000 kilometers to talk to people. So except mindset, you need to take 4 A's, take action. But mindset first. First, you need to grateful, because Usana is an opportunity. Thank you, Jeremy, came to New Zealand from USA. Talk to us, Usana. Usana is an opportunity for us. So we want to thank God. Thank you, Usana. Thank you, Dr. Owens. Thank you, our Jeremy. Thank you, STI family. Thank you, Usana family. Give us, you can see the picture. 2000, we got a picture. Jeremy came to here. In middle is Jeremy came to New Zealand to training us. In our another side is our New Zealand alumni, Romina. She lost 64 kg. So out in 2010, we got another picture. Now you can see all 3 people have changed their figure, their mindset. In 2015, we in our international commission, we got another picture. Now you can see 3 pictures, same person, but different pictures. You can see. So if you persistent in Usana for a long time, you can change your life. So thank you, Usana. Thank you, Dr. Unzen. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you all, Usana STI family. So we need to grateful mindset. Every time, every day, when we get up using Usana products, we thank you, our Dr. Owens. Thank you, God. We can use these products in the world. So if everyone grateful attitude, he never complain. Every year, every day, every week, encourage us grateful company. So encourage us to take action. We no time to complain. We just follow team, follow Usana. We doing our Usana business. So USANA is a network marketing business. We need to know network marketing business is little bit different traditional business. So we need to know. First we need to talk to people. Active talk to people. Every day, talk to people. Another one is you need to connect with people. You need to increase your EQ because USANA is a people business. So you need to increase your EQ. This is very important. Next, number 3 is need to focus on this business. Because if you treat this as a business, you need to focus your persistence. Because USANA is a long-term business. As we have been in USANA for 22 years. Every day we treat USANA business is original. Always original day. Every day is a new day. Every day is talk to people. Follow up system. This international picture, Jeremy is inside. So we need to keep share, sponsor, and support team, support each other in self development. So we need to share. You need to name list. Even now we are still name list, not only prospects, but also associates and leaders. We need to, with Zoom, communication, Zoom, phone, email, Facebook, or Twitter, anyone, share our prospects, leaders, and associates, increase their skill, their leadership skill. You need to become every day share the person, form a habit. Some people just ask us, why you and Jenny so exciting every day? We have become form a habit because USANA is an opportunity. We need to share our people every day with Zoom, or phone, or email, anyone. Share our skills, share our leadership, share USANA products, share Dr. vision. This is our life because USANA is your health, your life. This become our life. So our life can't waste of time. You need to share your friend, your family friend, USANA. So in a share, you need to keep KISS principle. Keep it short, keep it simple. So everyone need to follow the principle. Also, you need to sponsor people because USANA is a network marketing. Why we want to share? Because we want to share them. One is sell products. Another, most of our work is sponsor them together with us to build up USANA business. So we need to know why we want to join USANA, why we talk to people, ask them to join USANA, because if they join USANA, they can change their life. Even use USANA products can change their life. So you need to set and go. Don't reject anyone. Be positive. Every day be positive. Because every day, every time only talking to people always say no. So you need to keep positive. You need to confidence yourself, USANA. The most important is just like Jeremy, follow up. Because follow up is very important. Because we are doing USANA not just 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. Because USANA is our life. So we need to positive and follow up people. This become more and more people into our network. So we need to support each other. But if we want to support each other, you need to take D by example. We need to take D. Like in Australia, New Zealand, we take lead. There is a company give us the magazine. We always take the top sponsor in Australia, New Zealand. So if you take example, you associate, your partner will follow you. So you need to trust your son. Ask someone trust your son. And then you need to love your son. Every day use your son. Your son become our life. Also, we are follow the team, like Jeremy STI big team. We use a team. Because everyone, if they want to build up your son, he in the future become a team leader. So everyone need to become a team leader. You can imagine, at first you are only one. Later on, becomes only one, you and partner two. So become formula. So mathematical formula is become 4, 4 become 8, 8 become 16, become 32. So you can imagine power of 2 is a very important system. So if you want to become team leader, you need to show development. First one, you need to change your mindset. You learn from our alumni, our sponsor, like Jeremy, and our STI team. Even study, research our user in hold up our user in team. So after you self-development, your leadership skill will grow up. So user now there's a grow up policy. User very focused on grow up. So our team, ourselves need to grow up. This is our goal. We know always as a listener, we need to take lead. We need to speak our team. This is our grow up. You just follow up your son in team, you will grow up, change your mindset. So, in I think every your son family will dreams come true. In may all your dreams come true. Your son everything do is helps our life and live it. God bless. And Jenny, come here to say something. I say members.
Hello, USANA STI family. I'm very exciting and I'm very grateful. Jeremy, 22 years ago, he came to New Zealand, Auckland, sharing the USANA business for Bill and me. Jeremy said, you trust USANA. USANA can change your life.
Yes, yes.
So 22 years, I always focus, listening our USANA STI founder, Jeremy. So I thank you, Jeremy, Paul Mackey, and Nomina Kuhn, and USANA, Dr. Owens, our founder. So USANA products, it changed our life for our house, our family, now my 2 children. So USANA business is a residual income. So now I pay the only income, one income in 22 years. So USANA change our life. So can change everyone's life. So you need to trust USANA. So trust STI. STI is the #1 team in the world. So Jeremy is my mentor, hero. So everyone follow STI. So today is Diamond University. So before some years ago, Jeremy said USANA is Diamond University or an international commission. So today in Zoom can study learn the Diamond University.
Yes,
so
yes.
Everyone need to join.
Yes.
More time follow STI founder. Jeremy Stanley. Thank you very much. Thank you, God. God bless.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. I'm so proud of you. And that was great content. If you still want to keep talking a couple of minutes, it's fine. I just wanted to come up here and get on camera as well while you guys were talking, but it was awesome. Jenny, it's great to see you. Are you guys wrapped up? Okay, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You guys all listening in, obviously got some valuable content from that. Our number one top earners worldwide. I am so proud of them. And like I say, this is what's so great about this business is that you would think that, if you're involved beforehand in like a traditional type of company or organization, then you wouldn't think that people would be coming on board as, we'll say, new employees or new representatives that would actually have a chance to pass you by in earnings and an income. You can do that in USANA. And it absolutely happens. And for all of you that are listening and watching this around the globe right now, think of the opportunity you have to excel even beyond what your upline has been able to build and be able to build it bigger and in more dynamic and even more legs and balance more volume. That's the nature of our compensation plan. It's not about how many people you have. It's about balancing the volume within our legs, being smart working in your project legs, and being smart with business centers like Bill and Jenny have done. 17-star diamond directors. So awesome. So awesome. Katie, you got a lot of work to do so you can pass up Jericho, in the next year or two, right? But it's so cool that we can work together like this and to be able to feed off each other's energy. And I just can't even imagine, where even USANA would be without having this ability to work with one another, work with people in our organization to help them reach the top, reach their full potential. It's just awesome. I miss you guys. I can't wait to come back to Auckland and be able to see you guys in person again, hopefully soon. Some of my best times ever, obviously, in New Zealand. So thank you so much for zooming in. Next up, we are back to one of the up and coming fastest growers right now in the company that I feel like will also give everybody a run for their money here soon on taking over that number one position, Mr. Jericho Orlina himself.
Yeah. Thank you. And that's right. Thank you so much, Bill and Jenny, for that wonderful talk. And that's right. My goal is to get into that top earner spot too, globally. So thank you. And I hope you guys, to everyone that's listening today, I hope you guys are getting, similar, what they say, how they say that success is a science? And I hope you guys are getting, what's common with what everyone is saying, right? So I think we're going to have a few similar points with my next topic. So my topic that I'm going to be speaking about is, I don't know if it's going next. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. Success loves speed. So, and of course, I'm going to give you guys a few tips on how to become diamond directors as well. And, the 7 lessons I learned on how I became a diamond director. As you all know, again, this is Diamond University, and our goal is to create lots and, more diamond directors in our company. So success loves speed. But before I get started, who here? Okay. I don't know if my slides are, yeah. Okay. Who here wants to get to the next level? Just type in me in the chat. Yeah. Do you want to get to the next level of your life? So, you know what, guys, getting here, I had to fly for it was an entire day of flight, right? And while flying, one thing that I keep hearing, right, is this: you want to fasten your seatbelt. And that's the same way with building your USANA business. You want to get to the next level of your USANA business. You want to get to the next level of your life. Then you have to know that on the way up, right, getting to that next level. This is one of the first things I heard as a new associate. If you want to get to the next level of your life, you want to get to the next level of your business, then you have to fasten your seatbelt, and you have to expect what? You have to expect that there will be turbulence as you go on your way up. So you want to fasten your seatbelt mentally, physically, emotionally, and of course, spiritually as well. You want to prepare yourself, fasten your seatbelt. And like Bill and Jenny were saying, you have to focus and you have to go 100% on your way up. But on your way up, right, you will get to a point where you will reach an altitude that then will allow you to go on autopilot. And as you all know, we're all working. We're all going 100% still, 100% full throttle, consistency. And of course, with regards to building momentum in flying a plane, you know, a pilot can't go 100% for 5 seconds or for like a few minutes and then stop and then go full throttle again for a few minutes and then stop. Because sooner or later, if you're not consistent with going 100%, then you would lose your way, right? With regards to building your momentum. Okay, so can you guys say this with me? Repeat after me before I get started. So can we all, you guys just turn on your cameras again, show your big, beautiful smiles, right? And say this with me. The next level of life requires a next level me. Can you guys affirm this with me? Next, if I want things to get better, then I need to be better. And the last one is, if I want things to change, I need to change. Can you drop in power in the chat if you guys affirmed that with me, right? And of course, here are my 7 diamond tips that I will be sharing with you guys, right? And of course, as you guys are watching the Diamond Director speaking today, I want to ask you guys, when you see someone with results that you want, but you don't have it yet, what's the first thing that goes on in your mind? Because that's super important. What are your beliefs when you see successful people? Because some people, when they see Diamond Directors, when they see, like, let's say for me, I've been surrounded the past day by a lot of people who are 5-star, 9-star Diamond Directors. And I could have a limiting belief that they must have superpowers or something. They must have something special about them, right? Listening to all the successful people, watching all of the successful people, you can have that limiting belief that these people are special or they're gifted or they're made, they're made to be successful. But that's not the case. And for me, my belief when I see people who are more successful than me in a lot of aspects of life is that these people just know something that I don't know. And the keyword is yet. That's why it's underlined. Can you guys read this with me? They have watched and read what I haven't yet. That's all that they have. That's the edge that they have. They have made mistakes that I haven't made yet. And they just do something that I don't do yet. And I need to ask and learn. And that's the beauty of this event. We get to learn from people who are successful and who have results in this business. So the next time you see someone with results that you don't have yet, you just want to take note, right? They just know something that you don't know yet, right? You want to give yourself time. Okay? So the first one is you want to invest in yourself. Can you guys lift your right arm with me? And then with your left arm, just do this. All right, that's a high five. That's a high five for yourself. Why? Because you invested in yourself here. Guys, I believe the best investment you can make in anything that you do is yourself. Why? Because you can't escape yourself. You're going to be the constant factor in everything that you do. You're investing, you're building a business, you're building a family. In whatever you do, yourself is the constant factor. You're always going to be a factor in your success. So you want to invest in yourself. Remember this, championships are won during training, not during the championship. It's what happens behind the scenes when no one is watching. Second one, this is my principle. This is the same way in basketball, in sports, in whatever skills you are doing, you want to practice as if you are already playing mentally, right? Practice isn't, you don't play during practice. You give your 110% during practice, right? Third, all men are created equal. Some work harder in preseason. And I truly believe this. What you do behind the scenes, what you do working hard on yourself, what you do when your upline is not watching, when your downlines are not watching, what you do behind the scenes, what happens when how you're growing and training yourself, that's what matters most. So you want to invest in yourself with your mindset, your belief, your skills, habits, strategy, which I would share with you in a few minutes. So here are a few resources. Investing in yourself, you can listen to these people, read a lot of books, go to YouTube. Guys, here's what I realized. It's 2020, almost 2022. And you can learn anything basically online if you want to, right? And like for me, when I was an achiever, I went to Utah, like here, for the global convention. And I was chasing mentors and diamonds and basically asking everyone, how do I become a gold director? How do I become a diamond director? Right? And of course, I went to the Philippines when I hit gold director as well. It was a 9-day trip just to level up our leadership and strategy with my team. And you want to build that culture as well within your team. You want to build a personal development culture within the team that you are leading. And you will start that as the leader. And of course, find a mentor. You watch what they do. you read what they write. And 3, ask them for help. So for better results, do the first 2 before the last for better results. So this is what I do. I watch people from afar. Number 2, you want to build momentum. The secret of all successful people. My best example is if you have a train that's not moving, a tiny 5-inch block can stop it from moving, right? Because it doesn't have momentum. That tiny of a wood or a block can stop it from moving. But if it has momentum, it doesn't matter. If it's a 10-inch wall, concrete wall, it will just, go through it. Why? It's because it has momentum. So when you notice in your business that your small problems are stopping you, it's because you don't have momentum. So you have to keep moving. You just have to move, right? And once you have momentum, you can blast through anything. Problems get smaller when you have momentum. Remember this, the greatest multiplier of results is momentum. When everyone feels good, everyone performs better. Problems seem smaller and results get bigger. That's what happens when you have momentum. So the formula is, and I'm going to share what activities you have to be doing. Activity plus focus with consistency. And remember, with building it, getting started is the hard part. But once you start, 50% of the work is already done. That's the hardest part, is getting started. That's 50% of the work, but you have to push through that first part. And once you get yourself moving, then you gain a little bit of momentum. And don't wait for motivation. A lot of people mistake motivation as the spark. No, it's the other way around. It is the outcome of you getting started. So you get started first, and then you get results. Then you become motivated. So it's the other way around. And of course, number 3, you want to focus on the right activities as well. So stop majoring in minor things. This is what Jim Rohn does. Says this, there's a very big difference between being busy and being productive. You could be working for 10 hours, working on the wrong activities, right? So my question to you guys, if you have an axe and you hit a tree trunk 5 times every single day, would the tree eventually fall? It will if you do it every single day. So you want to look for what are the top 5 activities you must do every single day with consistency, whether you feel like it or not. That will create the most and biggest impact with your business. So 20% of the activities create 80% of the results. And here's what I want to share with you guys. First one, presentation and personal recruits. This is getting builders and users. Second, orientation, getting started trainings, downline activation. Third, events and trainings. This is how you mature. This is how you get your downline's belief deeper. Fourth is goal setting, coaching, and strategy. This is how you give directions and improvement. And lastly is bonding and culture. This is how you get relationships. Again, this is a relationship business. This is a people business. So you want to invest in that as well and not see that as a waste of time. So remember, less is more. So you need to know what to focus on. Sometimes a lot of people are saying, what am I missing? No, you're not missing anything. You're just overdoing it. You're doing a lot of things. You got to do less. Okay? 4.1, step up as a leader. If you want to become an executive goal director, to diamond director, you need to have a big organization with huge production, right? And this can only be done if you can develop yourself as a leader. So you want to start to model and watch successful leaders and start taking responsibilities within your team. This is how I did it before. When I was a sharer, I would act as if I'm a diamond director. Before presentations, I would always say, I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond. Can you guys say it with me? I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond. That's how I always do it. That's why I would present to people who are earning more than me, right? But I would have all the confidence in the world because I know I'm a diamond. The rank is just waiting for me. I just have to work, but I will be a diamond. That's my belief. Second, with regards to that, 4.2, develop and duplicate other leaders as well. Remember this, success without duplication is merely failure in disguise. Duplication is what creates exponential growth. Duplication is what creates more time leverage. Duplication is what creates higher retention rate as well. So today, I'm going to share with you seed method, right? So leaders are created, not born. Like a diamond. You want to have a diamond in your team? That's what a diamond looks like. First phase, it's a charcoal. Next, it's the second image there. But it has to go under pressure. But once it goes under pressure, you have to cut it, right? You have to polish it. In short, you have to mold these people. You don't just find a diamond. You have to mold it, okay? So this is the seed method. Remember, my question for you guys, what does the seed need in order to grow? You guys can type it down the chat, right? So if you look at a seed, it has all the potential to grow. but its growth will depend on its living conditions, the environment, how you take care of it, how the farmer takes care of the seed. Does it have potential to grow? Yes, but if you don't take care of it, it'll die. Same way with people joining your team. You can have an associate with all the potential in the world, but you don't know how to mold and how to take care of this person. It will die, right? So, seed method, sponsoring, empowering, equipping, and then you want to develop them into leaders. This is the pattern that I follow with regards to how I duplicate myself. So, sponsoring is your personal activities. You prospect, you invite, do presentations, you enroll them. That's sponsoring. You want to master all of those. Those are the core skills. If you're still finding it hard to do prospecting and inviting, then you want to focus on yourself first. You want to develop yourself first. You cannot develop people if you can't develop yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. Second, empowerment. You build relationships. You know their why. You know their goals. You pass on the right mindset and attitude. This is what comes first. And then you deepen their beliefs. So the company, the industry, the team, themselves, and the products. Those are the 5 things. And the vision, you show them a bigger picture. Remember, Katie said this, how you see Usana determines how you treat it. It's the same way as how you see your partner. If you don't value your partner, you're not going to put in a lot of time. But if they see how big it is, not just 20 people in Zoom, they see it's a global business. It can change lives. They can see how many lives have changed because of it. Then they would make more time for it, right? Third one, you want to equip them. You want to train them. Skills training, demo, drill check. What does that mean? I do, you watch. I do, you do. You do, I watch. You teach, I watch. That's how you duplicate. Tools, growth, and of course, with developing leaders, 80-20 rule, 20% of your team will create 80% of the results. You want to look for those people, those aces. And that's how you immerse them and you do leadership trainings. That's what I'm going to be talking about in VIP. See you guys there. Duplicate and delegate responsibilities as well. And of course, 5th one, you want to change your environment as well. This is what Jim Rohn said. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you hang around with 9 losers, soon you will be the 10th. You can have so much potential. But you know what? Again, like I said, a seed has potential. But the living conditions and the environment would determine how well that seed would grow. I hope that makes sense. So of course, you want to evaluate your associations and ask yourself, first of all, who am I around with? Who are the people that I'm always around with, that I spend a lot of time with? Second, what are they doing to you? What do they get you feeling? If you surround yourself with people who don't believe in you, can you imagine how that would impact your self-confidence? Other than, choosing people who believe in you, who empowers you, right? People who give you books to read, not, parties to go with, right? Well, you need to have both, right? Number 3, is that okay? You want to ask yourself, is what they're doing okay? How are they influencing you? Because that will determine whatever you learn, whatever you read, and who you hang around with will determine your future, right? And of course, you have 3 choices. You either disassociate. I did a lot of this, right? Number 2, limited association. You want to limit your association with them if you can. Or 3, you want to expand your associations. You want to be the dumbest person in the room so they can pull you up. I always say this, you need to have 2 rooms, one where you're at the top and you inspire, and the second room, one where you're at the bottom and they pull you up. Number 6, we're almost done here, 200-meter headlight principle. I know you guys want to be diamond directors. Can you type in 6 if you've only been with Usana for less than 6 months, right? And when you look at executive gold director, when you look at diamond director, you start to doubt yourself. You start to think, can I really do that? Do I really have what it takes? Because that's what I felt when I was starting, right? And that's gonna paralyze you. That's gonna stop you from moving forward. And that's the most important thing, is taking lots to action. That's what Bill and Jenny said, right? And I love what Mike said earlier, how you live life forwards and then you understand backwards. And you know what? With your Usana business, it's the same as driving on a dark road with no lights and you only have your headlights. What do? You don't see the entire road. You just know where you're going. You have your GPS. That is your upline. That is your mentor. That is your coach. They tell you where to go. They give you the directions. You don't see everything. Like, have you ever seen someone who walks like this and they're looking so far and they don't look at what's in front of them? That's not how you walk. How you walk is you look at what's in front of you and then you take it one step at a time. So my principle is you want to look at the closest goal you can hit, right? And once you hit that closest goal, then that gives you confidence to hit the next goal. that's in front of you. So, it's important. I think that's what the next slide says. Long-term goals give you direction and alignment. What do I mean by alignment? You align your short-term goals to your long-term goals. But you must focus all of your energy, time, and resources on the goals closest to you. Because remember this, doubting yourself is you spending energy. And that's not spending your energy wisely and your focus. Remember, what you focus on grows. Okay? And the last one is, if you want to have huge income, you got to put in huge effort as well. Right? So I'll give you an example at work. Who here is currently working? You guys know the difference when you're working just to keep the job, right? And when you're working to get the promotion. What do you do when you want to get the promotion? Don't you, you work harder than the people around you, right? You work harder when your boss is watching you, right? But you don't work. You outwork the people around you. And that's how you get promoted. So if you want above average results, you cannot get above average results by putting in average efforts. You want to get promoted, you want to work harder than you did last week. You want to get promoted this week, you better be doing things that you weren't doing last week, right? That's what I always say to my team. Make sure that this week you did something new that you weren't doing last week. You need to grow. You need to outwork the people around you. So remember, the gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. And of course, you want to be a diamond. Can you touch your heart and say, I'm a diamond, right? Say it with me. I'm a diamond. A diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handled stress exceptionally well. And of course, guys, please follow me on social media. My Instagram is @Jerichos_. And my TikTok, you want to get entertained, motivated, @Jericho_Orlina as well. So that's it. Hope you guys learned. And of course, guys, speaking of finding a mentor, guys, I want to introduce you to the person who changed my life. Guys, when I went to Utah, I literally followed this person wherever he went, and he took me like I was his downline. He's not even my upline. He took care of me. He taught me how I can hit gold fast. He is also Rookie of the Year, and he taught me how to become a Rookie of the Year. And everything that he taught me, I applied. And that's what allowed me to become, a fast gold director and Ruby director as well. So he is one of the people who inspired me. He's one of the people who motivated me, coached me, pushed me. Of course, my very own mentor, Richard Tan. Let us all welcome him in the house.
Hello, everyone. Hi. So hello, everyone. I'm all the way from the Philippines. Hello, everyone in Canada and in US, in New Zealand, and in Australia, everywhere around the world, no? And hello, everyone. Hi. So wow, what a great speaker, no? Right now, my topic is what I taught Jericho. Okay, what I taught mentor Jericho for him to go gold, ruby, emerald, diamond, and so on and so forth. So are you ready? Are you ready to learn right now? Type 1 if you are ready. Okay, our keyboard warriors. So fast one. Okay, let me start. So topic for today is Premier Platinum Pacesetter to Executive Gold. Wow, okay. So for you, what is Premier Platinum Pacesetter for you? Okay, what is PPPS for you? Okay, let's see in the chat. Yes, you can type your lifetime matching bonus. There. Residual income. First, homework. Momentum creator. No, helping bonus. Momentum builder. So actually, you are all correct. Okay. PPS, no, is a lifetime matching bonus, helping bonus, residual income, momentum builder, to jumpstart your business, to build organizational structure. This is the thing that I don't usually see when people think about PPPS. No, all they think about is Premier Platinum Pacesetter is lifetime matching bonus,
bonus, bonus, bonus, bonus. But I would like to share with you the most crucial part about Premier Platinum Paysetter. Why the company designed it this way. Okay? So, hello, Cecil from Italy. Okay? And yeah, so for me, I use this Premier Platinum Paysetter to create a solid organizational structure. Okay? So that you're not just earning CVP, you're just not earning points, you're not just earning lifetime matching bonus, but you're creating a solid left and right org structure for your business. No, who wants a solid organizational structure for their business? Type me. Ako. For the Filipinos, type me. For the Chinese, type wo. No? Okay. So anyway, so that's my topic for today. How important it is as an org structure builder. Okay. There. So, but first, I'd like to share with you my PPPS journey. Okay? So, my PPPS journey started with swallowing my pride and ego. Okay? No? Swallowing my pride and ego, I have to go to my auntie and my uncle, to my godparents, those people who I don't normally visit, but right now I have to swallow my pride and my ego. No, they say pride is the only poison when swallowed can cure. No? Can you relate? No? And I have to take courage to really go there. A while ago, I heard Bill and Jenny Wang said, they go 100,000+ kilometers. Okay? To really go to the prospects. So for me, I go to my PPPS. I go very far to hit my Premier Platinum Paysetter. I hit my Premier Platinum Paysetter in 14 days, 5 sponsors, okay? And I have to swallow my pride and ego because most people look at me as a very good child, a very good decision maker. I have a very good status in my job. I have a very high paying job and I take care of my family. But you know, sometimes when they heard about me doing USANA selling vitamins, they question my decision. My family even laughed at me. Okay? But for me, I saw the vision of Dr. Myron West. I saw the vision of a better life. No? And I saw the video of Jeremy Stansfield. Okay? Who saw the video of Jeremy Stansfield with the yellow car? Okay? So that inspired me very much, no? And so my first sponsor, I went to the house bravely enough, got with my backpack, with all my vitamins, with all my my startup kit, all my products. And when I went there, of course, prepared with the skills, prepared with the knowledge, and prepared with the courage, okay, and excitement and enthusiasm, okay. But you know what? The first objection was actually not from them, but from me. The first objection was when I tried to open the door. I already traveled how many kilometers? When I tried to knock the door, the first objection was, should I start? Should I talk to them? Okay. But then again, I talked to myself immediately. I said, you've already traveled how many kilometers? You've already swallowed your pride and your ego. You've already paid how much? Why not go inside and just bring your energy, bring your enthusiasm, use your skills, use your wisdom, use your knowledge. Okay? Then there. Second objection. When they told me, oh, I know those products. I know USANA. I'm even getting it from Malaysia. My other auntie was getting it from Malaysia. I said, of course, with attending training, with attending knowledge, with attending training and having that knowledge. First objection, no, you don't go against them. No, you go with them. You said, And it's always edification, edify, edify, edify. What I said, wow, you're even getting your products from Malaysia. That's how good these USANA products are. Imagine now, it's in the Philippines already, and you can get it from your nephew, not from other people. So it's always edification, edification, edification. Now, if I thought, oh no, she's already know USANA. Oh no, what will, so you saw that it's very important that you attend training. It's very important that you read about USANA. It's very important that you equip yourself. Okay? I know we're all about energy, enthusiasm, and everything else, taking charge, courage, stepping up. But it's very important to attend trainings as well. Learn the skills, basic skills of edification, ABC. Learn the basic skills of handling objections or answering questions. Okay? So thank you very much. Okay, so yes. And you know what? On the time, on the spot, okay, I took off all the products from my backpack and presented all the products. And you know what? They got, if only I presented one product and I got shy, more or less they would buy one product or no product at all. But I took out all of the products, my whole kit, and you know what? 3/4 of my whole kit they purchased. And of course, learning from Bill and Jenny Wang, follow up. No, I heard Bill and Jenny Wang, they went to the Philippines. What stuck with me is follow up. You know what? I followed up on them. My auntie, my godparents, even if I was shy, after taking products, they already purchased the product. I follow up on them. Maybe you could look at the business. And they were my first direct sponsor. Imagine that. I was scared to death bringing them, inviting them to the office. But then again, you just have to follow up. Okay? And numbers game, you have to talk to many people. More people you talk to, the more chances of winning. Okay? Now, this is what I said a while ago. With PPS qualification, 1,600 points, okay, in 56 days. But in my organization, I just teach them 28 days. Okay? You don't have to finish 56 days. The other 28 days, that's for your downline, so you could help them achieve their PPS as well. Okay? That's a huge gold nugget for you guys. That's the reason why a lot of people are not able to help their direct sponsor achieve PPS because they themselves they use all the 56 days, only use 28 days. Okay, and lifetime matching bonus. Imagine if you have 4 direct sponsors who are earning $1,000 per week. Now, how much matching bonus is that? Now, how many days? 28 days only. Okay. PPS, imagine 4 $1,000 direct sponsor earner PPS. That would give you how much? Okay, $600 per week. But how much would that give you in a year? That's $31,000 US dollars in a year. In your lifetime. Multiply that by 30 years of your lifetime. No? Let's say 30,000 US dollars times 30 years of your life. That's 900,000 US dollars. Just matching bonus from 4 gold director. Imagine if they become diamond directors, all 4 of them. And mind you guys, I have downlines who have PVPS, who have direct sponsors. Direct sponsor, mentor Bernie Mantos, as the sponsor of Geo. Mentor Bernie Mantos is 1-star diamond director. His direct sponsor is mentor Twinnie Dumangon. Is 1-star diamond director. His direct sponsor is mentor Geo Bakilot and Cha Bakilot. They're 3-star diamond director. And so many diamond directors. Imagine that. So imagine that. Oh my God, right? So there's so many. And that's just it. Me, I have a direct sponsor, 4-star diamond director, mentor Lawrence and mentor Preciosia. Okay, so imagine that. So next, so this is the computation a while ago. Okay, now, but first, if you want to maximize CPS, you have to have the basic skills. Right prospecting as training, we have a lot of training about that. Right prospecting, proper invitation, effective presentation, and closing the sale. It's very important. Okay? And of course, second level skills, no? Game planning, you have to learn how to game plan or goal set your direct sponsor for them to achieve their PPS as well. Scheduling the calendar, setting up meetings, training them, no? Monitoring them and making sure they achieve their PPS as well. Okay? So these the details I could just share in the VIP, in the Telegram. Okay? If you have questions, just hit me up there, okay? So this I wanted to share. This is not a Christmas tree, okay? So I know the holidays are coming up, okay? And basically the square is you. So imagine the circle is your 4 direct sponsors, and the triangles are the 4 direct sponsor of your 4 direct sponsors, and the stars are your the direct sponsors of your triangles of your circles. So imagine that. Imagine then going forward, this is what I call the triangle offense. I teach Mentor Jericho as well. Remember Mentor Jericho? I taught you the triangle offense. Okay? So triangle offense means you help your left and right achieve Premier Platinum Pacesetter. Okay? Then they help their left and right achieve their Premier Platinum Pacesetter as well. Then eventually they help them achieve director, help them achieve directors, no, help them achieve gold directors, help them achieve executive gold directors. Imagine if you have executive gold directors left and right, what does that make you? Okay? And just use that in multiple business centers or multiple legs. That I have to learn from Mentor Bill and Jenny Wang as well. So I'll visit you soon in Auckland, okay? So now, so call to action. I know we learned a lot today, but at the end of the day, as Michael Cleas a while ago said, no, you learn more through action. Okay? So call to action. Just you don't start 2020 next year. You start 2020 now. 2022 next year. You don't start 2022 next year. You start it now. Okay? So I'm not asking you, no, to hit 1,600 points CPS in 1 month. No, it's just 3 to 4 presentations. 3 to 4 new sponsors, new pay-in, new direct sponsor this November. Okay? So you create the momentum now. Create the momentum now. Don't create momentum by just taking it slow. No. You take it consistent. You discipline yourself and consistently disciplining yourself. Because momentum happens when I learned this from Sergio Opet. From when you are from the earth and you are a rocket ship, you want to create momentum, you fly away from gravitational pull. Okay? And you need too much energy and fuel to get out of that gravitational pull. That's why you have to do it consistently, discipline. First week, you go for this week, let's go for 1 sponsor. Okay? Then when you achieve that, next week, let's go for another 1 sponsor. And so on and so on and so forth. Up to the 20, you can do 2 sponsors, 3 sponsors, and so on and so forth. So again, that's for me how you can maximize Premier Platinum Pacesetter to create your executive gold director run. Okay? So more tips, more guides, more advanced trainings later on my session. Okay? So yeah, on my building strategy and leadership session. Thank you very much, Sir Jeremy Stansfield, for inviting me. Back to you. Or to Jared. Oh, no.
All right. Great job. Thank you, Rich. Excellent information. I'm all fired up after that. And thanks for saving us a little bit of time here on the agenda too, man. You're such a pro. I love it. Okay, so next up, we're going to be zooming over to one of my favorite producers and power couples that I know of in the whole company. I've been close enough to them to actually have them be very close friends of mine as well. So I'm very fortunate. We started the Philippines together back in pre-launch. They've been actually really important in my life, not only from a business building perspective, but just building such amazing friendships. We've had a chance to travel together. We've had a chance to be in other places around the world. Also spent a lot of time together in Utah, and even one of our most favorite vacations ever out in El Nido and in the Palawan Islands there in the Philippines as well. They were legendary from the very beginning of starting. I'm very serious from a full-time perspective of building and growing their business there in the Philippines market, and eventually is built into other international markets too. Daisy Balaguer and Ramel, actually, I think Daisy's the only one speaking today though, are going to be sharing some really powerful information here. And I'll also be talking about some things during our advanced session too. For those of you that still haven't chose to do the super VIP upgrade, this would be now a great time to do that. So here is Daisy Balaguer, one of the top leaders, a star diamond director of my organization. Daisy, you are amazing. How are you today?
Great. Okay, so
take it away.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy. Yes, today I'm gonna share something that perhaps may look very simple, but I know this is gonna be valuable because after all, our business is simple. And every day we are talking to new people who cannot actually understand too much information. And that is why we want to make it simple for them. Yes, so I'd like to start with, I have two dads. One rich one and one poor one. My biological dad is a poor dad. He is highly educated, has a high government position, but when he died broke. My rich dad is actually the father of my best friend, Mike. Okay, so he is a 8th grade dropout, but he went to business and eventually became one of the richest men in Hawaii. Says Robert Kiyosaki in his best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, this book has enabled hundreds and thousands of people to embark on their entrepreneurial journey. And I am one of them. You see, I am a small business owner prior to network marketing, and this book has helped me tremendously. According to Robert Kiyosaki, when he was 9 years old, he had decided to be rich. And at that time, he approached his dad to ask what to do. And poor dad advised him, go to school, get good grades, and make sure you get a good job. However, when he went to rich dad, he said, okay, still go to school, get a job to get experience, but you must get into business. And of course, who are you to follow? In principle, you become who you follow. And of course, the rest is history. Robert Kiyosaki became a financial guru. So, what am I sharing? Why am I sharing this to you? Because most of us, I would like to ask if it ever occurred to us if we wanted to be rich. And I personally, of course, I have always dreamt of having the good life, not having to work for money, having so many options in life, having the dream lifestyle of course, without having to think ever of money. So, according to Robert Kiyosaki, the difference between the rich and the poor is actually financial literacy. So the rich, they take time to study how money works. So they read books, they go to seminars, and they get mentors. However, most of us, because we are not educated, we may be dreaming to be rich, but we have not done anything so far. Okay? So, as a starter, this book helped me, and I challenge everyone who has not read this book yet to start reading this book. Okay, so this evening, or for most of you, and this afternoon for us in the Asia Pacific, I would just like to make everything very simple. What kept me in the business in network marketing is actually these 3 concepts. Okay, so there's too much information, and sometimes it's so overwhelming for the new people, and it is very good to limit the information into a framework. So this afternoon, I will present to you this. Okay, so this is what we call the cash flow quadrant. This is actually introduced by Robert Kiyosaki, and I know for most of you, you are already familiar with this, but I am sharing with you how we can approach our prospects or even our new associates and help them have a deeper understanding of what this business is all about with a very simple framework. So there are actually 4 ways to earn. Okay, so we have E as the employee, wherein you trade your time for money. Okay, so if you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. If you don't want to double your income, then you have to double your effort. But if you want to triple your income, is it possible to work 24 hours? Of course not. Which means that if we are employees, there is a very limited chance that we could ever have financial freedom. Okay, so S is self-employed. And of course, we know that these people are highly trained and they are highly paid. They have special skills. However, most of the professionals are considered self-employed. Doctors, lawyers, and even dentists. However, if they don't open their clinic, will they still earn? Of course not. Why? Because it is tied to their time and effort. And self-employed are also small business owners, but if they don't open their stores, of course, they don't earn as well. Okay, so the employee and the self-employed actually are limited by their own time and effort. And this is why they earn linear income, which means that if they work, they get paid. But if they don't work, they don't get paid. Okay? So this is what we call the left side of the quadrant. Now, the right side of the quadrant is where the rich operate. How is it that the rich get richer? What is it that they do? So the big businesses are businesses that employ over 500 employees. And these big businesses usually requires huge capital, and also it also has very big risk. And usually big businesses can operate on its own. Okay, why? Because the big business owners, they usually employ people to run the business. Why? Because they have a system in place. Now they can they know how to multiply their time and effort. Okay, so the big business is where the big money is made. Now, what is the I? The investor. The investor actually just invest their money, okay, in real estate, stock market, and in other in a lot of different investment. Yes. So the investor actually does not have to work. It makes their money. It enables their money to work for them. So this is the right side of the quadrant. Okay. Now, the right side of the quadrant is where the rich operate. How is it that they get richer? It's because they know how to use other people's time, other people's effort, and other people's money. Okay, so they know how to leverage. Okay, so this is where, in simple terms, what do we mean by leverage? It means that I am earning 1% of 100 people's effort rather than earning 100% of my own effort. Okay, so what if something happens to you? If you are earning linear income, it's something scary, right? Especially with the pandemic, suddenly your linear income is suddenly gone. Okay. So, but if you are earning leverage income, just like what we are doing in USANA, our income continues because we are leveraging our income. Now, according to Robert Kiyosaki, the fastest way to transfer from a linear income to a leverage income is actually through network marketing. So that is what is amazing. And he said that in 3 to 5 years' time, you can actually do that. Okay? But the best thing about network marketing is that you can start with a very small investment. And with only $500, okay, you can already buy into the system of USANA. The beauty about this business is that in network marketing is that what we are doing is we are buying into the system, okay, of a big business. So, for example, USANA, who does everything? USANA does everything. It manufactures, it does the research and development, it does the accounting for us, it prints everything, all the brochures and marketing materials, it provides the system. So everything is done by USANA. So in network marketing, what we are doing is just buying into the system, an existing system. And yet with a very small capital, we can earn the potential income of a big business. So isn't this business amazing? Yes. So this is how simple the prospects need to know. Okay. So this is why you have to do network marketing, because in 3 to 5 years' time, you can actually transfer from the linear side to the leverage side. Okay. So the second one is there's people have a lot of negativity about network marketing. Why? Because they never really understood what network marketing is. It was never properly discussed or explained to them. And that's why we are going to use this. Okay, so this is just a very simple illustration. So what is network marketing? Okay, network marketing is, of course, a distribution business wherein the manufacturer goes directly to the consumers, bypassing or eliminating the middlemen. Okay, so which means that we can get products at a lower price because of the not having to go through the middleman. So what is network marketing? So it consists of 2 words. First is network, the people that we know. I'm sure each of us know at least 100 people. But with the social media, we can have a huge network. And network would also include the people that they know. Earlier, we heard from Krista Rialba and even from KD that it's like friends of friends, right? Which we can access to the social media. So each of us has a very huge network, and all we have to do is to access that. Now, what is marketing? Marketing simply is educating people about the value of a product and promoting this. The beauty about network marketing is everyone in network marketing only shares the product because they have personally used it. So it's really a word of mouth. So very much similar like watching a movie and recommending it to friends. However, we don't really get paid if we recommend a movie. However, just by being involved in a network marketing company, whatever we share, we get paid. Okay, so the business is so simple. So there's only 2 activities that is happening in the business. First is we have the retail. So retail, what do you do in retail? We are actually looking for customers and we share. We take the products and then we share our experiences. And people who just want to use the product can be our customers. There are more people who just wants to use the product. So we can build a huge customer base from this. And all we have to do, follow up, and they become our loyal users. Okay? So, however, this is the linear side of the business. Okay? So, you cannot really build huge income with just selling the product. So, we would like to just give 20% of our time doing this. However, why is it that lots of people are earning huge income in this kind of business? It is because of sponsoring. And what is sponsoring? Sponsoring is simply looking for business builders who are willing to do what you do. And what do we do? In looking for the business builders, we are inviting people to take a look. And I'm sure every one of you here have been invited. And you would never know about this business if you were not invited. Okay, so while earlier we heard a lot about follow-up and being persistent. And true enough, I don't know, was it Jeremy who mentioned that there was somebody who, after 1 year, decided to join the business. So you can never really say that you have invited that person enough. So persistence is the key. So you invite and then you teach. What do we teach? We teach how to share the product, how to use the product, how to share the product, and how to invite. The basic skills. We are teaching the basic skills. So this is the leverage side of the business. Okay. So this is the leverage side of the business. Okay, so we would like to be spending 80% of our time in building leverage. Okay, so this is a very simple illustration of what the business is all about. Okay, so the third framework that I would like to discuss is the 3 key concepts. So lots of people cannot really understand how this business can earn us huge income. How does it happen? Especially when we talk to traditional business owners who are used to earning huge income based on huge capitalization. So it's so hard for the big businesses, the business people to understand how network marketing actually generates the income. Now, this is a good illustration for it. So these are the 3 key concepts that make network marketing a brilliant business. Okay, so first is duplication. So what is duplication? It means to copy. So what do we copy? How to use the product, how to share the product, and how to invite and teach. Okay, so let's take, for example, that there are 2 people, okay, that you invited and you shared, okay, and told them to copy. So 2 times 2, there's 4. And the 4 people who will copy the initial activity that you did is to also invite 2. This is what Rich Tan just mentioned earlier. Just 2 persons, 2 that will become executive gold director. So 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. Now, if you invited 3 persons and asked them to copy, and they do the same, so 3 times 3 is 9, and everybody copying the same thing. So 9 times 3 is 27, and if they invite another 3, that would be 81. So what is the difference between inviting 2 and inviting 3, but there's duplication? So there's 65. 65 at the 4th level. However, the only difference was you just added 1 who duplicated what you do. What if you invited 4? Okay, so 4 times 4 is 16. And then they invited 4, 64. And they invited 4, that's 256. What is the difference between inviting 3 and inviting 4? That's 175. Isn't that a big difference? But you know what? The only difference was just 1. Adding another person, but there is duplication. Okay, so this is what makes this business amazing because of the duplication. Okay, so what does it mean to duplicate? You making sure that the person that you invite and the person that they invite sponsor, and the person that they sponsor knows how to duplicate. So that is the idea, that you go 3 levels deep, ensuring that there is the right foundation for duplication. Now, why is it that a lot of people are not earning in the business? It's very simple. because they stop right here. So it was mentioned PPPS. Some people just stop here. They never really got duplication down there. They never got duplication going on. And that's why a lot of people quit. Now, the magic of this business is, well, let's take, for example, the 256 invited for. So that would be 1,024. Isn't that an amazing volume of people? So duplication is the key to really build a huge income in our business. And what happens when there is duplication? Of course, there's exponential growth. Okay, so let's take the example earlier of 256. If we only have 256 people, they love the product and they are willing to take it every month. And at 100 points in USANA, okay, at 100 points every month, 256 people will generate us 25,600 points. That could potentially earn $5,000. Now, these numbers are actually hypothetical. And of course, we have the income disclaimer. So this is the income possible only with a lot of hard work and commitment and dedicated time and persistence. So it is not something, it is a hypothetical so that we would be able to give our prospect a vision or clarity of what this business is all about and where they can be. And of course, if we have like 1,024, okay, we cannot stop people if they love the product and USANA has the best product and they are continually doing research and development. So we will be ensured to have more and more products. And that means that we can have more and more volume. So with 1,024 at 100 points, that could potentially earn $20,000 US. So imagine this as something that you can retire on. Okay, so it's something that you can work towards. The best thing about this is residual income. What is residual income? It is income that is earned while you are sleeping. Why? Because our business is about consumers. Consumers who love our product and who are committed to do this long term. And that is why residual income is possible. Okay, so are you willing to give 3 to 5 years to build the business so that you can start earning some residual income? But the more committed you are, just like Jeremy Stansfield, just like Bill and Jesney Huang, who have been in the business for so long, right? 20 years, this is something that is very possible as long as you give it your commitment. Okay, so lastly, I'd just like to say 3 tips. Everybody's giving their tips. Okay, so the first tip is build unshakable belief in this business. We have been in the business for like 20 so years. The first 10 years, we worked with different companies, and each time the company failed us, but it was only USANA that gave us the long-term vision. And that's why these three frameworks kept us in the business, even though it was up and down, but knowing what we got into helped us stay on course. Okay, so build unshakable business in network marketing as an industry and as your vehicle towards your financial freedom. Okay, second is to have clarity of what you want. Now, this business is going to be up and down, as I've said, even with all the diamonds we shared. Of course, it requires huge self-belief and emotional, Bill and Jenny, emotional quotient, right?
We're running out of time. Just giving you a heads up here. You have to wrap things up, sweetie.
Okay. Yes. So you just need clarity of what you want to achieve with this business. And then third is you just need to talk to people, talk to people, talk to people. And this is one of the simplest way to tell people about the beauty of network marketing. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you got value from it. Back to you, Jeremy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Daisy. You did such a great job. Incredible content. And your camera and your setup there in your guys' condo or apartment, it looks freaking awesome in your house there with all the, it's like a professional studio there with all that lighting. Romel's got to be running around there somewhere helping to get all that together. So you look fantastic. Thank you so much for all the content. Okay, next up, we're running out of time. We got a lot to still happen here on our agenda. So we are now going to zoom back over to San Antonio, Texas, where our 5-star diamond director is waiting to be able to share with us more valuable tips and wisdom. We got Miss Monica Penrod. Let's go.
What's up, family? I'm going to take 30 seconds because out here it is about to be midnight and I got to shake it off. So I want everybody to get up out of their seats. Get up out of your seats. Come on, get up, go. Remember, uniquely extraordinary and everything matters. So I want you to shake it off, move your butt, shake it out, stretch. For those of you who are into, doing power moves, do a power move. Let's get re-energized so we can finish out this night strong. Woo! All right. And then take a deep breath and let it out. Awesome. Okay. Now, I get to share something that has really made a huge impact on my life, and that is mindset. Okay. Something's not. I love when things go haywire. Let me figure this out. And okay, let me see if I can get this fixed. Nope. I may have to if I may not be able to share these slides. So just give me a second. I think there is a setting, Jeremy. Okay. Just give me a second. Bear with me, you guys. And gals. All right, I love how easy it is to operate this. Okie dokie. So here's some training for y'all. When things don't work out the way that you want them to, so what? So what? Take a deep breath, relax, and deal with it because that's what leaders do. And there's nothing to fret, like there's nothing wrong. This is a teaching moment. All right, let's try this again. Yay, got it to work. All right. So in the chat, I want you to share one of these 7 deadly needs because we all have them. We all have at least one. If you're like me, you probably have had them all. And the reason this is important is because this affects how we perceive ourselves, how we communicate with other people, communicate with ourselves, and how we grow our business. And I remember in the beginning, my mentor, not only have I heard Jeremy say this, but I also heard my mentor, Brian Douglas, say this as well. You either want to be right or you want to make money. And for the many years, this is going to sound ridiculous, I wanted to be right instead. And I would look at my way of communicating and I'd wonder, like, why aren't people doing anything? Like, why are people moving? Like, why are people not showing up to stuff. And I had to get honest with myself, brutally honest with myself. And I realized, a lot of my conversations with people, I noticed that I have this major need to be right about everything. And you know what? People don't like a know-it-all. People don't like dealing with people who constantly have the need to be right. Because if I'm trying to be right all the time, then I'm making people wrong. And people don't want to be wrong either. And so as I've gone through personal development and have not only been trained, but also have developed myself and have had mentors and have had people be able to look into my way of communicating and my style of leadership and give me feedback, which in the beginning I could not stand. I didn't like getting feedback because it was like, ouch, oh, that felt like a bullet to the chest. And as leaders, it's important that we're getting feedback, and it's important that we are developing our mindset and dealing with all of this stuff like the need to be right, keeping score, the need to be in control, the need to look good and avoid looking bad. And all of that got in the way of my leadership and my communication and the way that I deal with myself and deal with other people. And I'll never forget a few years back, I read this quote from Albert Einstein, that the most important decision that we will ever make is whether we believe the universe is friendly or hostile. So what I want y'all to do is I want you to write on your paper what your worldview is, because your worldview shapes everything. And I mean everything. Everything from who you marry, who are your friends, how you train and develop yourself, how you move forward in your business, how you spend money, what house you live in, what car you buy, relationships, everything. So I want you to write down, do you believe that the universe is hostile, or do you believe that the universe is friendly? And I'm gonna. Now, if you're like me, you believe that the universe is hostile. That has been my worldview for most of my life. So if you believe that the universe is hostile, how do you think you show up? I want you to put it in the chat. How do you think people show up when they believe the universe is hostile? I can't see the chat, but I'm assuming some of you typed in being on the defense. That was me. Being on red alert, waiting for danger, looking for danger everywhere. Can't trust people. Constantly living in fight, flight, or freeze. Or maybe your worldview was Care Bear Land. Maybe you grew up in a home that was a lot like Caroline. Awesome for you. I didn't grow up in that home. I grew up with Darth Vader. And it would have been wonderful to grow up like this, but that was not my worldview. And how did that shape me and the way that I built my business in the beginning? Well, hello, I didn't trust people. I didn't like people very much. And I was constantly on the defense and on red alert and in constant stress mode. How the heck am I supposed to go build a business if I'm constantly living like that? And, we talked about and we've heard about how where your attention is, energy flows. What you focus on is where energy flows. I'm constantly focused on all these dangers and triggers and alerts around me that it was extremely challenging to grow my USANA business because I was in constant fear all the time. Fear of rejection, again, looking bad in front of people, always needing to be perfect, I mean, that puts a damper in our energy and in the way that we grow, and it actually puts a halt on our growth. And another thing that also affects our mindset is whether we believe the mind is fixed. And I'm assuming many, if not most of you, are already familiar with Carol Dweck's book called Mindset. And people that believe they have a fixed mindset believe that their abilities, their skills, their intelligence, and their talents are all fixed traits, that you can't change it. And we now know that neuroscience shows that that is not true, that the brain has plasticity. It can continue to branch out. Our neurons can branch out. We can learn, we can grow. We can develop new skills, new habits. It doesn't matter what age you are, we can still improve and grow our IQ. And so the growth mindset is a belief that all of these basic abilities and skills can be developed. And the conversation that people with the growth mindset have is, failure is an opportunity to grow. I can learn to do anything I want. Challenges help me to grow. My effort and attitude determine my abilities. Feedback is constructive. I had this worldview of hostility, danger, and oh my gosh, getting feedback, or as a lot of us know it as criticism, constructive criticism, it doesn't sound pleasant. Does not sound pleasant or fun to have somebody pick at me and what I perceive to be tearing everything apart about me and giving me feedback, because it was it hurt me. It didn't feel good. And those that have this idea that their mind is fixed, and some of you may believe in this growth mindset, but your belief system won't truly allow yourself to step into that. And that conversation looks like, failure is the limit of my abilities. I'm either good at it or I'm not. My abilities are unchanging. I can either do it or I can't. My potential is predetermined. I'll stick to what I know. And so I want to share with you some key factors that it's important that you really get. And that not only that you get, and I want to be clear about what I'm saying right now. See, knowing what I'm about to share with you, knowing all this stuff is not enough. Knowing's not enough. I mean, how many of you know how to lose weight, but you haven't lost a pound in years? How many of you know about real estate and how to make money in real estate, but you never bought a property, or you've never bought an investment property? Like, a lot of us, we know a lot of stuff, but unless we implement what we're learning tonight and taking action on it, it's just knowledge, it's just information. So first thing is, you want to put your butt on the line. You want to step into a growth mindset, you got to put your butt on the line. And it sounds scary. I remember the first time I heard this, must have been about, I know exactly when it was. It was 15 years ago. And I was in a personal development seminar with the company called Clemmer and Associates. Many of you are familiar with that company. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, putting my butt on the line, that is so scary. Like, I don't want to put my butt on the line. And I didn't, because I could not handle failure at the time. And why? Because if I failed at something, I made it mean that I'm a failure. And so, us humans, you've heard me say this before, we are meaning-making machines. We make meaning out of everything. And the reality is this: you, as a human, you can't fail. It's impossible. The fact that you're even here with me on the Zoom tonight shows that you're not a failure. It's impossible to fail as a human. Every day that you're on this earth, you're not a failure. And we fail at stuff. That's just part of life. And so you want to start to begin to be accountable. What does it mean to put your butt on the line? Be accountable. Be accountable and impeccable with your word. Give your word to things. I know it's scary for some of y'all. And here's the thing. You're being developed and trained as a leader this weekend to go and take action. And so what does that look like? Maybe it looks like in the Diamond University group or in this chat on, I forget, I don't know what that app is called. Maybe it looks like you're giving your word to how many people you're going to talk to by the end of the evening on Sunday. Maybe you're committed to talking to 10 people and sharing your heart and USANA with others. Maybe it looks like you enroll one person on your team by Sunday night or tomorrow night. But giving your word to something, being accountable to other people is important in your growth and development. And then being responsible. So I want you to put in the chat, what are you going to be accountable for? What are you going to take action on? Is it you're going to talk to 4 people? Approach an invite? Is it you're going to enroll a new team member? What are you going to do? And what is it that you need to be responsible for? See, a lot of us don't like to take responsibility because of what we make it mean. What do you make responsibility mean? See, being responsible is one of the key factors of being powerful. And if we're not being responsible, then what are we being? If we're not being responsible for where we're at in life, for our USANA business, for our health, for our training and development and our well-being, if we're not being responsible, then what are we being? I want you to write it down. What are you being? If we're not being responsible, we're being a victim of our circumstances. I was a victim a bunch of times last week. All right, next. You want to become an expert. That's what you're here for. To learn the skill so that you can go out there in the world and practice to become an expert. And being willing to accept failure. You don't want to focus on your failures. That's not where the focus should be. The focus should be on, okay, you failed at something. There's you as a human being, your human being aspect that you cannot fail as a human. Remember that. You're not a failure. You're never a failure. Some of you really need to hear that. Because if that's your story that you're telling yourself, it's disempowering you from taking action. So you have to change and transform that. So you can't fail as a human. But then there's this other aspect to you where you're a human doing. And you're taking action. And you might experience, well, no, I'm not going to say you might. You're going to experience failure. That is part of life. And to accept that you're going to fail at something, that you might fall flat right on your face. And it's important to learn from that failure. Get mentorship, get coaching, get trained, and get effective as you're learning and as you're growing. The next thing is, nothing works unless you do the work. Like, sitting here learning all this information is great. And we have to put it to use. So I want you to take a few seconds and quickly And with velocity, I want you to write down what is an action that you know that you need to take right away. As soon as this Diamond University is over, what's one action? I just want you to write one thing that you know is a must that would make all the difference in your business. And the next thing is being purpose driven. You know, a lot of us think that we have to have this elaborate purpose in order to go and take action. And that's just not true. Like right now, this is my purpose right now. My purpose is to train and develop people in growing their USANA business. That's what I'm doing right now. Going back to, remember what I shared earlier, be in the moment. So many of you already know what your purpose is. You know, my purpose is to support the transformation of people's lives and to cause them to step into a place of freedom and power. That's my purpose. Whether it's sharing USANA with people, whether it's listening to people, I can fulfill on that purpose everywhere I go and tie USANA into that. Because USANA is all about transforming people's lives. And when you're purpose driven, you'll bring more value to yourself and to other people, and you'll have fun. You know, the other thing is that you don't want to focus on money. I know this all too well. When I was so focused on money, it took the joy of building this business out of me. It took the joy out of really being with people and being in their world out of me. And I wasn't as effective as I could have been. And people know when you're all about the money and not about them. And you want to be about creating value. So what are two things that are valuable that you can bring to the table, that you can bring to people? And I want you to write that down. And if you don't know the answer to that, the question would be, how can you create more value? Next, you want to work swiftly, quickly, and you want to work with velocity, fast. Why? Because coming out of this weekend, you want to be like a super train, like a bullet. Because if you don't, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be left with all your thoughts, with all the things that have kept you stuck, the things that stop you, the things that keep you from moving forward, that disempowering you. You get stuck with all that stuff in your head because you're busy trying to rationalize and be logical. And I'm going to come back to, most of us have this major need to look good. And so the quicker that you get out of your head, you want to get out of your own way. So all those things that you have up in your head about yourself, guess they're just thoughts. They really don't mean anything. They don't. So if you can get to a place where you can allow those thoughts to just, run through your brain, okay? And A lot of times they just want to be acknowledged. Acknowledge the thoughts. Hey, thank you. I call that voice in me, and excuse my French, but I'm going to use it. I call her bitch baby. When bitch baby shows up saying things like, you're just not that good enough, Monica. And what are you doing? Like, who do you think you are? And I just thank bitch baby. And I acknowledge her. Thank you, bitch baby. I appreciate you. And I acknowledge you for those incredibly disempowering thoughts. And you can leave now. And then I remind myself what I'm set out to create in the world. And so when you do that and you acknowledge what's there, sometimes it may mean you getting on a phone with somebody and just sharing with them what's there for you. So it's no longer in your taking up space inside of you. And then you can focus on really being with other people, being in their world, not trying to get it right, not trying to say something smart and waiting to say the right thing back. Or, when you're really with people, like, you'll really get the world that they're in. And then you'll know exactly how to approach and invite them. You'll know what solution to provide them. But when you're stuck up here with all that stuff and all those thoughts that aren't even true about yourself, it's hard to be with people. All right, next. Being grateful. I've heard this several times already today. Is being grateful. Because when we're grateful, and we all know this, it puts you in a different state. It emits a different energy about you. And you're like a transmitter. We've all had that experience where we're around somebody and they don't even say a word. And there's just something off. Maybe they don't feel good to be around. Maybe they feel angry. Maybe your perception is that they look angry or feel angry. And you don't really want to approach them because there's just something about them that you don't like or just doesn't sit well with you. We're so powerful. And when we put ourselves in a state of gratefulness, it completely alters the way that we be in the world. And you start to attract different things in your life when you have a different energy about yourself. And it's a gift that you give yourself when you put yourself in a state of gratefulness. And when we're grateful, there's like no lack. Like we're not lacking anything.
At a time, I'm sorry. Do you want to wrap up your last thought?
Yeah. So I just want to leave y'all with this. And here's the thing. Repetition is the mother of all skill. We all know it. We've heard it many times before. And you got to keep doing the thing that you know that you need to do over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that's one way that your brain learns is through repetition. And the one last thing, you heard me say this earlier, 80% of success is you just showing up and being here. It's freaking past midnight. Like, hello, that's uniquely extraordinary, you guys, that y'all are here. And then the other 20% is how you show up. So be thinking and writing down, who are you being? Who are you being as a leader that would have people want to just call you up and say, hey, Cindy Snow, I want to join your business because I see you everywhere on social media and you're absolutely uniquely extraordinary. Like, I want to be on your team. I want what you got. You're awesome, Cindy. So y'all have an amazing evening. And let's go make it happen. Let's go take action. Let's crush all that stuff that gets in our way. And I will see y'all tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Monica. Awesome information as usual. We love you. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, guys. we have only a little bit of time here before our super VIP advanced session. So at 12 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, approximately 50 minutes from now, this general session will come to a close. And I just want to remind everybody that is the super VIP that we'll be ending this meeting, and then you'll need to make sure you check your email for the confirmation that came to you for your super VIP registration, which is another Zoom registration link, basically, to be able to get into our next 2-hour session. Now, this is primarily for the Asia Pacific time zone. For those of you that it's during the day now in Asia Pacific on Saturday, then this is for you. So if you're here in North America markets, you're more than welcome to crash and get some good sleep as this general session ends, and to be able to key into our advanced session tomorrow for you at 1:30 Mountain Daylight Time. But if you are a super overachiever and you want to last through our super VIP session tonight, then you're more than welcome to do that. Your super VIP registration does include that. Now you can still upgrade. So somebody put that upgrade link inside the chat for me, please, so that others can see it and click on that. If you are in a general admission registration right now, you can still upgrade. And I'll be monitoring that here shortly as our next talks go along so that we can get you emailed that information. And also, if you're not seeing it for some reason for our super VIP and you've registered that, then you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger as well. Okay, next up, it's my honor to announce our next and actually our most recent speaker that we added to our agenda. These guys are awesome. And actually, he has a background like I did in terms of carpet installation. So we were able to gel with our stories right out of the gate from the first time that we met. It's great to see their energy and their continued commitment. They are Emerald directors and on their way to Diamond and very serious. This is Will and Regina McLeod. They are Emerald directors, and I think that Will's going to be doing most of the talking here. He's over in Auckland, New Zealand. Take it away, Will.
Guys, welcome. What an amazing day it's been. So it's just me. It's here speaking. She's going between Indonesia and this, so she's got a lot of things going on. But I'd just like to share my screen if it's okay. Oh, awesome. Let me see. Hold on. All right, awesome. So yeah, it's great to see everybody here. So I'm going to take you a little bit of a journey. I've got something I want to share with you. It's called the Circle of Influence. But before I do that, I'd love to share a little bit of my story. So here's a picture of me and Regina 8 years ago, and this is at Regina's birthday. Now you can see she's smiling, right? But she wasn't really happy at that time. Why? Because she'd just been diagnosed with step 3 precancer cells. So she was obviously very stressed. She was putting on a smile because it was her birthday party. And we were, it was a bit of a shock for us at that point. So we went to the hospital, and what happened is they says, right, we're going to have to do a procedure, do a little operation. And then what happened is they done a blood test, and then Regina found out she was pregnant. So they says, well, we can't do anything with what you're dealing with at the moment. We're going to have to monitor it, and we'll need to deal with it later. So they says, well, continue with your pregnancy. So what happened is for the next few months, Regina's what happened? She went to the hospital again, and what they done is they done a test to see how the baby was growing. So they done a scan, they done a test, they done a blood test. And what happened is in the blood test, right, they says, well, the baby wasn't growing. So she's like obviously scared. So they says, well, your baby's meant to be here. But in fact, your baby's actually here at the moment. So that was quite a bit of a shock. So what they says, well, you have to take some supplements. So they gave Regina some supplement, And then he says, right, we're going to do a blood test every couple of, maybe twice a week. So every 3 days, Regina would have to get a blood test to see if anything was changing. So we done that 1 week, no change. The second week, no change. And my friend was in USANA. So what I done is I got the supplement from Regina, from my friend, and I gave it to Regina. Now, within 2 weeks, the baby starts to grow. Within 4 weeks, the baby's back to where it was meant to be. And it was like the only thing we done was change the supplement. So obviously, massive relief. So Regina's continuing taking the products. Everything's great. She was getting stronger. The doctors were happy. Now, what happened is maybe about 3 months later, my friend James, he came to me and he says, look, let's come and have a look at the business. I want to introduce you to a couple called Bill and Jenny. And I was at that point in my life, it's like me and Regina are running two companies. So I'm running a flooring business. So installing carpets, training apprentices, selling carpet. And then Regina's running a wellness clinic in Auckland and Takapuna. And then in the weekend, I'm leaving the flooring business and going into the wellness clinic to give Regina time to relax because she's been working the business. So we've got two different businesses running. And then Regina's pregnant. And so I'm quite authentic. So I says to James, look, I'm not interested. It's like I'm overwhelmed. I've got two businesses. I've got all these workers to take care of. And I've got a hormonal wife. So it's like at the moment, it's not the right time for me. And so James was quite persistent. So what James done is he went behind my back. He went to Regina and he starts prodding at Regina and says, look, come and see Bill and Jenny. Come and see Bill and Jenny. And Regina's, obviously, she's Asian. So what the thing about there is, okay, they don't want to say no. So she comes to me and starts pushing me. We need to go see Bill and Jenny, but we're not going to join. We're just going to see the presentation and then we'll leave. Like a good husband, okay, I'll go. So we went to see Bill and Jenny. They live in a beautiful house in Auckland, in Howick. We walked in, got beautiful cars, beautiful big house. But the biggest thing I realized when I turned up was how amazing the people were. And back then, Bill and Jenny and that, their English wasn't very good. As you can see today, amazing. They've done really well. But back then, they couldn't. So I walked into a bit of a presentation and this woman, Romola Quinn, came out. And beautiful woman, she really took care of us. And she went through a presentation with us. And one of the things I seen for myself that night was, I've got a 28-year-old daughter and a 26-year-old son, and I never seen them growing up because I was always working from my first marriage. And I've got, my wife's pregnant, there's a baby coming, and I'm really at a place in my life where I'm 45 years of age. My knees are killing me. My hands are sore. I keep training apprentices. Every time I train somebody up, they would become a competition and leave. Then I give my skills to the next one, they would leave. And I was just getting worn down and worn down. As you can see, I was quite overweight there as well. So I'm in a situation, I want to be a full-time dad. I've got a new baby coming. I don't want to repeat the same mistake again. And that night, I actually decided to join. And one of the reasons was Bill came up to me and he says to me, the same thing that Jeremy says to him. USANA will change your life. In that time in my life, it was just the perfect time. And I joined. And then, obviously, since then, we built a big business. We opened up in Indonesia. Bill and Jenny flew all the way to Indonesia. They helped us. So the support was absolutely extraordinary. So we joined, we continued, things started to go great. We're growing the business. And then what happened is a few months later, the baby was born, right? Alexandra was born. And that was just a blessing. So such an emotional business. So The baby was born. Things were going great. Regina went back to the hospital a month later. They went through the test. They checked for the pre-cancer cells. They done a test, and it went from step 3, pre-cancer, to 0, and everything cleared. And that our belief was through the roof. We started building the business. About a couple of years later, USANA opened up in Indonesia. I ended up there, and we've just been there for the last 5 years. And then a year later, last year with COVID, we came back to Auckland, and we've been building the business now in Auckland, New Zealand. And yeah, so it's just been such an amazing journey, from killing myself in my business, me and my wife not getting to see each other, going through this with the baby and our health, and then we've now transformed all these areas, and our life is transformed, and now we get to make a massive difference to other people's lives. And USANA has been such a blessing. And I just want to thank Jeremy for starting SDI, because if he'd never done that, Bill and Jerry wouldn't have done that. James wouldn't have introduced me, and we wouldn't be here, and most people here wouldn't be here either. So the next thing I want to show you is this is what I looked like when I joined USANA. As you can see, pretty chunky and a lot of inflammation, as you can see. All right, so I've just got a little bit of time now, and I want to just let you know my story, and I want to now take you through a little quick exercise. So if you've got a piece of paper and a pen, please get it. I need you to draw something. So what I want you to do is get a piece of paper and a pen, and then the center of your paper, I want you to draw a circle the size of a coin, and I want you to put your name in the circle. And then once you do that, I want you to draw another circle, and I want you to put family. And then after that, another circle, and I want you to put friends. And then after that, another circle, and I want you to put community. And then after that, another circle, and I want you to put society. And then another one, and then I want you to put the world. So if you look at this circle, right, who's at the center of your world? It's you, right? But what we are doing is we've got this backwards. So many of us, me included, are trying to produce results in the world, society, community, friends. But the most hard one to deal with is our family and ourselves. So we're trying to produce results, we're trying to help people, we're over here, but maybe we have drama at home. Maybe we don't have that environment with us and our children and our family. And most people try to create success, but they come back home to drama. And that was one of the biggest things that I was going through. And that's why it's so personal for me. And when I hear Monica and what she's sharing, this is so aligned, because the biggest thing that screws everything up is our ego. And we all have one. The key is we can't really see it because we don't really understand what it is. So let me read this to you. Usually people try to improve and create their results in the world, community, and society, but we do not focus on our inner self and on our family. They are usually the hardest to deal with and the most important part of our life. The SDI system is about being grounded and peaceful inside, creating breakthroughs in relationships and communication. We focus on our emotions, our ego, how to conquer fear, self-doubt, create confidence and positive influence. When we feel peaceful and grounded, we can become better communicators with our family and friends. We become better parents and partner, a better team player. Then every result in our life becomes effortless and natural. And I want you to just get present to that. If you're grounded and peaceful and present, and you're not getting hooked with negatives and reaction and judgment and insecurity, and you focused on just being peaceful and loving, and you build your business from that place, you become a magnet. You're not forcing anything. You don't need to be anything. Be yourself. The right people will follow you because you're just being true to who you are. And stop judging yourself and comparing yourself and judging others. Stay peaceful and grounded. And what happens is you're just walking through life, helping other people do the same, helping other people find themselves, helping other people love each other. How can you build a business and change people's lives if your house and your harmony at home is not congruent with that? So we work on ourselves in the inside, then it transfers to our family. Then it transfers to our friends, our community, our society, and in our world. And we are the person that can change the world. But to do that, we need to change ourselves and grow and get really, really grounded in who we are. So that's all for me. And I just want to let you know, guys, that I love all of you. We're all on the same journey. We're a USANA family, we're Esty, your family. And the biggest blessing is Dr. Wentz coming into your life. And we're all his downline. So thank you so much. And all the best for the rest of your Diamond University.
All right. Will, great job. It was great listening to your story, hearing more about your journey. And it's always great. It's a great refresher. And actually, I've never seen it shared in that much detail before. So this was great. Thank you so much for preparing that. I'm sure all of you guys really loved it. And I got to say that we have another really important leader that is also underneath Bill and Jenny. And this leader has been working hard over in Australia, and she's located in Sydney. I had a chance to start working with her directly on some mentoring and coaching the last couple of years. It's been a lot of fun. And kind of miss actually hanging out and talking to her a lot more lately. But she was part of our last Diamond University as well, a great speaker for that. She's a one-star Diamond director, Casey Zhang. Take it away.
Well, thank you. Welcome. Thank you, Jeremy, for the wonderful introduction. Let me just share my slide. Thank you. Okay, can I share, please? Yep, just a little bit. Yeah, I just needed to share. Well, thank you so much for being able to connect it here. Yeah, I really, really grateful to be here. And thank you, Jeremy, for, taking this one, virtual Diamond University. And yeah, just a little bit about myself. I'm the mom. I'm a mom with 3 children, and I am the registered nurse. And yeah, I'm very touched with Will's story and really touched my heart. I'm a very passive, health professional registered nurse, and my gratitude, Sydney with my husband, and thinking that if I could get my qualification recognized, and that will be my story. And when I was doing my postgraduate study, almost every minute and every second has been used, and I have the challenging in my health. And I was in doctor's clinic, and he told me that I'm going to losing my eyesight, and not only that, I can't have a 3rd child. And this is the first time in my life I experiencing very petrified, and I've been having a sentence from others. Well, right there, I decided, no, I cannot losing my eyesight. And, I got introduced to USANA. I say, well, yes, definitely, I love to take USANA products. And not knowing that, USANA is such amazing premium products, and I have to, to be able to afford it. So I start sharing it, these wonderful products to the people around me. And yeah, my passion just start to grow. And I myself, become full-time in USANA, from 2008. And again, I don't have any business skills. And everything what I do is learn and develop. Yeah, and we all have a different journey in USANA. And this is my journey. And every one's USANA is so unique. And I love to put an honor in Bill and Jenny. I remember when I was very junior as a USANA associate, I see them, they're coming to, Sydney, for the convention. When I see, Bill and Jenny, they're going, I don't know, I have so moved by, I say, I love to be making a difference like Bill and Jenny. And I really, start very, very moved by. And on the right is a picture in 2017. Just a little bit about myself. And I did not losing my eyesight. And I have the third child, and I named him Jeremy. And it's very touched my heart. Jeremy at one stage, he was participating STI's after convention party. And I was a person to translate for him. And that was a really, really life-changing moment for me that I was able to partner him, named Jeremy, very dear to my heart, and making a difference in the world. So, this are really, really changing my life. And that's why I say, I don't know how to do the business. And I learn, today, Monica and William and all of you here, you talk a lot, about, the mindset and things like that. And what I want to challenging you here is for you to changing your life and your USANA. And we all know there are only two things we can get control on is what you say and your action. There's only two things in our life, and we can have a control of what we say and what we do. And here, actually, if you listen closely, what the presenter talk about, and you will have some clue. And today, I just put it together, the 4 common languages the expanding leaders speak. You will see the expanding these leaders, they have some common characteristics. And I just put it here for you. Well, actually, the expanding leader, they speak 4 things. They dare to give people assignment. And all they share about is other people's story to helping people to move forward. And also, they dare to set up the challenging, not only for themselves, and they also set the challenging for others. And leaders speak vision. So today, my focus is talk about the language of challenge. We speak the workable language, the creative language. We are able to make a difference in the world. Okay, I'll be a little bit quicker because, the first one is to build up your own brand. Of course, I'm talking to myself as well. So Crystal talked a lot about how can we, if you have 3 words about yourself, and this can be your legacy, what are they? So this one, I'd love you to chat and put it on the chat, for you to remember, what are your brand? And if you don't have it yet, I'd love you to take this one home as an assignment for you. All right. And number 2 is master 7 steps to become network marketing professionals. And the book, Eric Worre's book, I keep continuing reading it, and I'm realizing if I'm able to be the masterpiece about these 7 steps, and all my associates, they can master on there as well. So challenging us to have become professional. And then, we can all rise up the network marketing, reputation. And number 3, we have a simple system to allowing radical duplication in our team. And Bill and Jenny talk a lot about the KISS system. Keep it very simple. Simple is not easy. It's very easy to get complicated. And Bill and Jenny always remind us to do the 4S. And we as leaders, we're going out there to do the 4S: sharing, sponsoring, service, and also set a goal for ourselves and dare to challenging our associates. Also, as you know, after the lockdown, we all understand the social media platform become actually rising as well. And then I think actually as leaders, take the actually steps to learn. We can't just one day we become master in social media. And I myself is learning as well. So I love to give you the challenge, learn something in the social media and making a difference in other people. And another thing I really love to focusing on is that leaders focusing on the process, not the result. Okay, how can we going out there without any money attachment, without any rank attachment, and we focusing the person right in front of us, focusing on the process. Well, I love to challenging you. What action are you going to take now for your life in USANA? So you can take, the 4 challenges I mentioned about with you. Build your own brand. Also building your own brand. And number 2 is skills. Got a very simple skills for to learn and to become master. And number 3 is actually do the simple system. If anyone in your downline know that's something what I needed to do, that's called system. Everyone, even the people from day one, they know what to do, and that's called system. System is duplicatable. Okay, so in Australia, New Zealand, we're taking it on since May. We do the C4 challenge, which means that we're taking it on the challenge every month for sponsor 4 people to 5 people. And I myself, I have been taking it on myself. Yeah. So again, another one is social media. Before I leave, and I know that, we got a lot of information. The world is changed by your example, not by your opinion. And this one is by Paulo Coelho. All right. And before I finish, I just want to honor Dr. Wen's vision. And this is the vision has been carrying on, has been my light, my power every day, every moment. I dream of the world free from pain and suffering. I dream of the world free from disease. The USANA family will be the healthiest family on earth. Share my vision, love life, and live it to its fullest in happiness and health. Thank you so much. I love you to take on the challenge and really making an impact in your life in USANA. Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Okay, let me see who is the next. The next one is actually I'm going to pass it to Gerald and Crystal. And these are the leader. Are really at the moment. They are such a giving leader. You can see that they got a lot of production, effort and things like that. I'm going to pass it to you, Gerald and Crystal. Thank you.
And you saved us a few minutes here on the timer. We kind of were scrambling here. So that was good, though. Thank you so much. We needed that. So it's perfect. All right. So next up, we've got Jared coming up with our late night here. And I just want to mention a little bit about, again, the Super VIP. If you haven't done that, let's have somebody put that in the chat right now so you can get registered, because Super VIP session is going to start in 20 minutes and this session will end. Jared, let's rock and roll.
And now, welcome to Late Night with Jared Krebs. My name is Brian Penrod, and tonight, Jared Krebs is going to be talking about winning trips with USANA. So get ready, take notes, and learn. And now, here's Jared Krebs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. How are you guys tonight? If you are ready to learn about trips with USANA, type in trips. If you want to go on the next Elevate trip, type in Elevate, because we are about to show you the vision of how awesome your life can be with USANA and going on all of the trips that they provide as you grow your business. There's nothing more fun than being on a trip with all of your friends. And I have some slides I want to show you about the Elevate trips, because no matter what market you're in, there's Elevate for the Asia Pacific market, there's Elevate for the North America market, and you can opt into these slides, or you can opt into these trips. So I think we're going to try and get these slides to show up here for a second. Jericho has me there. Okay, so this Autumn Elevate trip, this one here just happened in Cancun. And this one, to win an Elevate trip, you have to enroll, or you have to create 8,500 points worth of orders, okay? Preferred customer orders or associate orders, product orders. And when you do, you get a trip. And this is a picture of me and my wife, Crystal, on the last trip to Cancun. The most fun was being with all of our friends, right? Like being all together, going on to the different things that they had. Like we were on a catamaran. We had special VIP dinners. We just loved our trip to Elevate. And then the next trip coming up for the North America market is Disney. And this one here is, again, the same thing. You enroll, you create 8,500 points worth of orders in 6 months' time. What is that? That's 300 points a week. So you guys can do this. Anybody can do this. The cool thing about Elevate is that it doesn't matter what rank you are. It doesn't matter if you've been in a long time. It's all based on personal production within a 6-month period. This is me and Crystal at Disney World. And this one again was, well, this one just happened, but it's also happening again. It was so good, they want to do it again. So this is going to be awesome. And we just qualified for this. So you can hang out with me and Crystal. You can still join this one. You have, like, I think 55 days. There's about 2 months left in the year. So you can win this still. So guys, these trips, the way you do is you have to go to the hub and you have to opt in. Make sure you go and you opt in, because if could you imagine winning the trip and you forgot to opt in and then you don't go? Okay, so make sure you just go opt in. Just get that done, get that little detail done, and then join us on the next Elevate trip. So this panel is going to actually cast that vision for you on USANA trips. And we're going to bring up all of the leaders to share their stories on what they learned from these trips, what these trips have meant to them. And we're going to start off with none other than my lovely wife, Crystal Nicole Lopez Krebs. Crystal, come on down. Welcome to the show, baby. You look so beautiful. Thank you so much for all your hard work for Diamond View. There's no way we could do this without you. Guys, Crystal, as you know, has probably been emailing a lot of you and helping a lot of you with your getting onto the meeting, right, babe? And so can you talk to us about these last 2 trips to Elevate and what they meant to you, what you loved about them?
So the last 2 trips have been incredible. We have met some really, really amazing people. A lot of the leaders that are there are now such good friends of ours. I mean, it's a very unique situation because you really get to know them and you get to bond with them and have fun. You don't normally do that like at a convention when everybody's there. It's always so much fun there because you see everybody, but you have like a minute to just say, hi, how are you? But on these trips, you actually get quality time with them. You get to know them, they get to know you, and then instant bond. And that's how the USANA family it just, connects even more. And it's just a blast to go. They take care of you so well. We had so much fun in Cancun on the catamaran. We were snorkeling and great social media content for, being on these trips. And the Disney trip that's coming up. So the last Disney trip we won, it was so much fun. We got to meet people's families, their kids. We'd been doing the Sip and Scrubs, me, Fernanda, Alexis, and Felicia. all of 2020. And so their kids got to know us just via Zoom from the Sip and Scrubs. And so when we finally got to meet them, they were like, oh my God, we're getting to meet, Jared and Crystal. They were so excited and so sweet. And so it was just really, really special to get to meet them. And like I said, these trips, like you don't want to miss these trips. Why would you not want to go on vacation every 6 months, twice a year with all of your closest friends? It's that much better. But yeah, definitely be there because we're going to be there.
That's right. So, guys and gals, make sure that you've opted in. Make sure, we looking at this camera? That camera. Okay, make sure that you've opted in, guys. Make sure that you are working hard and make sure that you're tracking this also for your team as well. Make sure you know about that. Now, our next person that we're going to bring up is one of the Elevate Trip winners, Jericho Orlina, who we spent time with in Cancun, and it was so much fun. Jericho Orlina, come on down. Woo! Have a seat right here, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Bro, so bro, like, what was it like hanging in Cancun? What were your highlights, your tips? What do you want to say?
Highlights. It was so fun. And of course, that was the first time I met you guys.
That's right.
That was the very first time I met this too. And for me, it was actually my first trip with Usana as well. All of them got canceled, but this one, thank God, this was the first trip that I actually attended. And it was so fun. It was easier for me to cast the vision to my downlines as well. Because one thing that, like what we learned earlier, is we have to learn how to promote events and of course promote travel incentives as well. But it's so much easier to promote travel incentives when you've seen it yourself, when you've attended it yourself. And of course, for a lot of my associates who were there as well, I think a lot of them enjoyed meeting other people who are in Usana. When they see that, okay, it's not just us in the building, but there's actually other people who are successful here.
Absolutely. And I got to brag on you. Okay, I got to brag on you for bringing your team because you had, how many people on the trip in your team?
Okay, I think there was 5 or 6 of us there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so cool just hanging in
It
the
was
pool
fun.
and just drinking pina coladas and just really just hanging and talking. And I remember like sitting in the ocean with you guys and like we had our little phones in like these little lanyard things. And I was like an idiot and didn't have my phone.
And what happened to your phone?
I dropped it in the, actually thought my phone was waterproof. Okay. Look, the iPhone is not waterproof. Okay, guys? It's not. Even if they say it is online, it's not waterproof. And anyway, so I dipped it in the pool and it started to malfunction and I didn't have a phone for 3 days. So, I mean, there you go. That's what happens sometimes, first world problems. But I will say that it was still freaking awesome. And I got my pictures back. So
all that
it
matters.
happened. Yes, bro. Well, thank you again, man. Thank you for leading with the vision. Thank you for bringing so many people. And we love having you here, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. So for our next special guest, we have Patty Roney, who has gone on 7 Usana cruises. Everybody give a round of applause.
Okay.
Patty,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
So I love this topic because I remember actually winning a cruise before I could afford to take all my kids on the cruise. So you think about that. It was a time where we weren't doing so many of the land trips. We were doing a lot of the cruises. And I actually passed on one and Usana sent me the money for it because I couldn't take my kids. All the others, so 5 cruises, I took all my kids. And we also got to go to Indian Wells, the professional tennis and be in the WTA box. And so those are all different perks that Usana has had. I just have to say that what really hits me is how they treat us. They're constantly giving us incentives and beautiful prizes to do our job. And you can go to other jobs and never get to go on a cruise and never get even much of a thank you. They treat you like gold. And you are right about the people around you because this Usana family is super bonded, but you're always going to pick up a tip. No matter how long you've been in Usana, it's time for me to go on more trips because you're going to always pick up a tip from someone. And it's a tip while you're sunbathing, or it's a tip while
yeah.
you're in the ocean,
Exactly.
or it's a tip while you're. We went to the Mexican Riviera, went 3 Caribbean cruises, and we went 1 Alaskan cruise. And I think it was just 5, and then the 3 Indian Wells trips that we went. And I think that the tips that you get from the USANA family and corporate, I love the home office and the information that they give us too, because they're real people and we get to hang out with them and they give us a lot of information. So anyway, I love how we were treated. You've all made me ready to go again.
Let's go. That's right.
Ready to go. So thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you, Patty.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I love how you cast the vision for your team and for other moms, like moms out there. You want to take your kids on a trip, win it and take them to Disney, win it and take them to Cancun. We had kids on both trips.
Good.
And
Yes.
it's just a great thing to see that you did that and you're going to do it again.
I am going to do it again.
Awesome.
Elevate all of them.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
All right, guys, now it's time for our next special guest, Foundation Executive, 5-star Diamond Director, Brian Penrod, who's been on countless trips. Come on down, bro.
You're the
All right.
Look at that outfit.
So, man, talk to us, man. How many trips do you think you've been on, like paid for USANA trips?
I don't even know, like more than 10?
More than 10.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what
Between
has been
10 and 20 or something.
What would be like some of your favorite moments? Or like, I know you've gone on a lot, but like, what would you say?
A couple of them were a couple of my first times. And one of those first times was my very first USANA cruise. And it was just magical. I remember being able to sit at a table with my upline, Jeremy Stansfield and Brian Douglas. And then the other people sitting next to us on that cruise in the Caribbean, and just soaking in the possibilities of the lifestyle, because they had all become financially free already. And I was broke and had a job. And it totally just opened my mind. I remember it's like every time you'd leave your room, somehow you'd show back up later and there's gifts on your bed. Like, how do they know? Like, and you know what? One of my best memories on that cruise was spending probably an entire day of that cruise writing out a stack of postcards about that thick to all of the people that had said no, which I was taking as a not yet. That trip rocked my business when I got home, because I was like, man, you should have listened to me. You would have, man, all these people. Oh man, it was just so fun. It was so awesome. And then, just Cancun to Bora Bora to Switzerland to Ireland to Mexico, Argentina. Like, I don't know, like I just lose track of them all, but I'm excited I'm going on this next one. I am going to win this thing.
Elevate, bro.
Elevate.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for leading with the vision, bro.
Thank you.
Love watching you go on those trips too. Being on some of them with you. Yeah. All right. Well, we saved the best for last. We have Foundation Executive, 9-star Diamond Director, the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Stansfield. Come on down. Bro, sit right here. Sit right here, bro. All right. So talk to us. What have been some of your favorite moments from your trips with you?
Man, I was just hearing some of the ones you've been on. I've been on those as well.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
had so much fun. Oh my gosh. I think that one of my biggest dreams, well, from when I was a child and getting into the workforce, even as a teenager, and then in my early 20s, I just dreamed of being able to travel and being able to check out new areas and new cultures. And what better than to have a company that actually has taken me all around the globe on being able to be treated like 5-star accommodations. And yeah, the treatment is just absolutely amazing. But I would say that my favorite one was probably South Africa. So that safari was pretty epic, but really being all over Europe, places like Switzerland. We've actually done tons of trips to Hawaii. I've loved all the USANA cruises. One of my most memorable was an Alaskan cruise, and going all the way up and seeing all the big ice formations and all that were cracking off, and right next to our ship, and it was just so cool. My kids will never forget that. It was just awesome. So many great trips. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I want to ask you guys also on the panel, since we have a little time, talk about bringing team members with you on trips, because, you know, it's not just about us going on trips, right? It's about our team going on the trips and what that did for your business or what it did for the people. Does anyone want to say anything on that?
I do. Actually, some of my team worked hard just to go on those cruises with my family, and the fact that we were together was huge. But my family and my team felt like they never wanted to go on another cruise again, ever, unless it was USANA, because I'm not kidding. The USANA family, it's a different breed.
Wow.
There's so much more fun. There's so much more real. There's not fake. So that was amazing for us.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I also want to share, I took my mom on a trip to Ireland. So the first USANA trip I won was Growth 25, and it was back in 2008, guys. But at that time, they combined the Growth 25 and the Fortune 25. And we stayed in castles. We were around, we played games in like Ireland with like bagpipe guys playing their music and I mean, all this stuff. And it was my first trip, but I got to bring my mom, and many of you know my mom passed away 3 years ago from ovarian cancer. We all love her. And I think that you never know how much time you have with people in your life, you know, and the fact that I got to take my mom on this luxury trip and make a memory that we have forever was just worth its weight in gold, you know? So I want you guys to like really take that to heart and really go for these trips, you know, not just for your business, but for your family, and to create experiences. You know, my mom became a gold director. That business continues on very strong with my dad, and that whole team still to this day is a big part of my life. And I'm just so grateful though for these trips, because this is something that we'll never forget. So anybody else? Last couple thoughts on trips before we go on.
I think for me, one of the main things that got programmed to me when I was starting in USANA is that if you plan to quit in USANA, you better make sure that you've tried the travel incentives first before you quit.
Yeah, that's right.
Because if you've tried it, then you would be successful by then. But that's literally what my mentors told me. You want to quit in USANA? You better make sure you've tried the travel incentives. So that's something that was drilled into my mind when I was starting. Yeah.
Well said.
And it's one other thing too, is like we had talked about earlier, like key performance KPIs, so to speak. You know, definitely for international conventions, events like this, but why not set goals of how many people in your network and your team you can bring with you? And imagine being on that trip with your team, all experiencing how awesome it is together, and then being able to set group goals again for the next trip and seeing that duplication happen. I know you're seeing that type of growth happen too. And man, that's just the way to go. We have a freaking blast.
Thank you, Brian.
Oh,
okay.
No, I just want to say, also being on these trips, like proximity is power.
Yeah.
Like being around, even right now, like just being around all of these leaders, like it's so amazing. You get in that energy. You really like it. Like Brian was saying, it blows your mind. It expands your mind. You see a bigger perspective that you wouldn't even have seen, even considered seeing had you not been in that environment around those leaders. And that is so powerful. That's like going to take you farther than you know.
Thank you, baby. This concludes day one of Diamond U. We are about to transition to the Super VIP, everybody. Yay! So guys and gals, make sure that if you got the Super VIP, that you join the next meeting, because it's actually Midnight Mountain. We made it. And so we're about to launch this. And Jeremy, any last words you want to say?
Yeah, just I want to remind everyone that this particular advanced session is really for the Asia Pacific attendees that are, during the day right now for them. So it's not midnight here Utah time or 2 a.m. out Eastern time zone. So, I mean, if you want to stay up with us, you can. If you're here in the North American market, We're staying up, but we are going to be duplicating similar information tomorrow during our advanced session while our AP market is basically sleeping before we start in our general session in the morning. So keep that in mind. But if you want to attend both, then you can attend both. Thank you so much for everybody sticking it out through our entire session. It's been epic. You guys have been
tomorrow at 1:30, right?
Yeah, so tomorrow on Mountain Daylight Time, our super VIP session will be 1:30 p.m. So it'll go till 3:35. We'll have a 30-minute to 15-minute break before we start the general session at 4 o'clock p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. We'll go all the way to midnight, 8 hours worth of powerful content for day number 2.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Woo!
Yes.
Good job, everybody.
We are going to be closing down this Zoom here shortly. This one can still stay open for a few minutes for chat, but most of us are logging out of this one and logging into the advanced one. So DM me if you need the link, if you can't find it, if you've already registered, and we'll help get you in there.
Thanks, everyone.